should probably put those somewhere. I should probably keep those somewhere safe. There you go. Gotta put my recordings somewhere so that when I need them, they're somewhere safe. Good for your soul. Anyway, I need to upload a thing first. But I need to make sure that I like the last conversation they're having. Oh no, there's like 1 second in the stream technically of some YouTube video. Well, if you can figure out what video it is, that's pretty impressive. I'll give you 10 points for that one. 10 points for Gryffindor for that one. What the hell is this? Patreon, you're recommending me some odd things. I'm just gonna be honest, Patreon. I don't know why you think that I would like to see that. Thank you very much. I mean, those are cute dinosaurs, but I'm paying fucking $15 a month. My man, my homeboy, sliced my up top down low in the middle too slow. So I think I'll calm down a bit. Usually my first stream is always a bit aggressive. We'll get to the rest, but I have some opinions about where this is mechanically going that I'm still a little off about. I can see how it would make sense. The problem is I don't know if Anon's the guy to do this with. You know what I want to hear? I want to hear a RuneScape level up sound clip. That's what I want. Holy shit, this person has how many tiers? I have to upload, otherwise it's been too many days and I'll feel bad. I need to upload, or I'll feel like shit. I have been a goofy little goober. Man, I have like a dry potato chip flake somewhere in my throat, and my throat is like, oh yeah, man, oh yeah, oh yeah. Let's have some fun. I'm just taking care of an upload, like I said. I need to make sure the post notes are good, because they're a bit messy. Like the further on we go, the more edits I've made, and the more it needs a little spit and polish. You know what I really feel like though? The Super Mario Brothers 3 flute theme. Ooh. Almost done. Don't wait too long. This just means people can filter in and get their chairs nice and warm. I'm probably gonna get a snack though. I could use a snack. I could use some sugar before we start. Bop 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 bop. I hope this section is just alright. 2,000 words. That's a long and spicy chapter. That's what we in the business like to call... You know, I just had another comment in my head that I kind of want to add. What are they called again? There. That's all I got to add to this situation. You see, Okay, is that everything? That's everything. Chapter 12. Up. Mark of completion. Chapter 13 is coming up next, and I can go, and we can start, and I can go. Oh no! My boy! My boy missed... I heard very little about that fight, other than the fact that apparently... things were something else. I'm gonna get a bite to eat very quickly, and then I'll turn on the music. How about I turn on the music right now? We're in a good time, so let's turn on some good time music for the good guys. I should probably just throw these songs in places where they belong. It's just mellow. Just put it in the rainbow. Phoenician values. That's rocking. That's not that. I can't chill to that. I want to dance to that. It's garbage. I can't use that. That's kind of both. The. Hitler song with a really long name. Thank you. No, I'll put this on while I give myself a treat. Then I'll say something like doot 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 doot. Oh wait, no, Hunt for You. Just nice and chill. Into the actually chill pile you go. Top of the social ladder. That's kind of chill. Like, it's got to be a song that I can dance to for me to think that it's a rockin' song. Like, this is actually perfectly fine for what we're doing. Thank you for coming, Scary Dave. Your absence yesterday has been noted and sent to the council for crimes. Crimes against every possible thing. There. Alright, cool. Now that I'm ready to rumble. Things are looking up for Anon. Things are looking up for Anon. Did you know? This feels a little loud. This feels a little loud. Hold on, I'm gonna make sure this is actually a... Is the audio coming through? Because YouTube is yelling about my audio bit, right? I don't know why. Hold on, I gotta make sure everything's working right now. Hold the phone. Anyway, problem's fixed. It's just that YouTube doesn't clear certain error messages when they are no longer relevant. It's just fine. Better to know that a problem has occurred than leave you in the dark. Anyway, yesterday's stream is what I expected. I'm very nasty on my openings a lot of the time. But now that I've kind of mellowed in and chilled out, man, I might just put my volume down just a couple of... just a little bit, just to make sure everything's 100% okay. Just okay? But now that I've kind of mellowed in and chilled out, man. I want everything to have a chance to shine, which includes the soundtrack. There. Yeah, that's what I want. Okay, cool. That's fiddly. Alright, how about we just get going? Last time, Anon became a baby, and we got a little too much detail on what being a baby is like. Hold on, recording on. Okay, so we're just gonna fall in with the door, as they say. I was nasty yesterday, but I do feel it's a little awkward. It's such a weird way to start your story, with this massive power imbalance. I mean, admittedly, you know, they're not being weird with it. I'm the one being weird, if anything. But it's still something where I feel a little bit like, you sure, buddy? You sure about that, buddy? But again, that's exactly why I would never write it. And therefore, someone else has got to do it. No matter what. And that's the real glory of eating a whole grain banana. Oh. Dang. Alright, I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go, everyone? Please take off your handbrakes. We are initializing the stream. The days go by in Chapter 5 to fight. Because Anon, after saying I'm a big fat crybaby, has realized maybe I shouldn't be a big fat crybaby, and now he is anti-crybaby man. It was a process for Olivia to get attuned to her new home, but Edward and Joan were patient and understanding. Slowly but surely, Olivia began to shed the shell of sorrow that the death of her parents had created. I was an asshole, by the way, in terms of tone. Like, I just wrecked the tone of being a jackass. Again, kind of the risk of being first stream. But it's got me reading, and I was willing to go for the Saturday, so that's how you know it's good. Or at least interesting. And, you know, media that sticks with you is a hell of a lot better than boring media. Because that's the point of media, is to be interesting. Little cracks began to show, such as eating at the... What do you mean cracks? Oh, the shell, okay. They really love talking about Olivia's wall in Wanting. Little cracks began... Again, that's a new sentence. Please. Little cracks began to show, such as eating at the table, showing Mom and Dad glimpses of what she was drawing, and even conversing with them. She began joining for movie nights, sitting on the side of the couch to use the desk to draw. By the time the movie was finished, Olivia would have an entire page. This song is a little too energetic for how descriptive this scene is. That's rocking it. Fuck it, we'll go with this. By the time the movie was finished, Olivia would have an entire page filled with drawings related to the movie we just watched. Now, the best part of the movie now was watching Olivia's gold gray eyes light up. Nah, he's not calling them silver. Anna, you are no Inco. You will never get to the bottom of her heart like a Tootsie Pop like that. And Snout curve into a smile when Mom, Dad, and I try to pick out what drawing of her was supposed to reference what. How many times are we getting Snout today? 19 times. I mean, it's a long chapter or so. As for kindergarten, that's where I helped. Or if anything, it's where Olivia helped me deal with the endless boredom I had felt before. Where the other kids at this time were loud and kind of obnoxious, Olivia was quiet and calm, usually using her free time to draw. So we pretty much kept each other company throughout the rest of the year. Although my drawing wasn't improving by much in the artistic skill. I mean, drawing is probably the better term, but it just seems so weird. It's like calling someone a drawer. My drawings weren't improving by much, and I was getting a lot less disgusting snorts from her and a lot more happy giggles. That's a win in my book. But now the real test came. First grade. My own first grade experience was miserable, being the only human in class, maybe the target for ridicule and bullying in mostly dino schools that my parents sent me to. Hopefully things will be a bit different this time around. I look at Olivia as we sit in the car, briefly scanning her face. Her snout closed in thought as we park by the school gate, already filled with a technicolored crowd of young dinos. Hey, this time you're a dinosaur, buddy. You ain't the outsider no more. We came to a full stop before Mom let us out. Olivia and I excited to separate from... excited? We came to a full stop before Mom let us out. Olivia and I exited from separate sides of the car. Why would you describe that? That doesn't feel that relevant, all things considered. Unless you're supposed to create... Oh, they're divided. But so far, it's kind of mellow yellow, so... You both have your backpacks? Mom asks. Olivia and I nod in response. And your lunchboxes? I show off the middle box in my claw. Olivia slowly following the example by doing the same. Oh, first day of first grade. Are you both excited? I opened my mouth to speak, only for Olivia to answer. Again, why does Anon call the Snout? Wouldn't he be using mouth terms? He's a human. No. Oh, don't worry. Olivia might only be 3 to 4 years old, 5 years old, whatever, but she is a chain smoker at heart. Aww. My mom doesn't let that answer dissuade her. It'll be fun. Well, I was going to give a more neutral answer before, but I decided to play along with it. Mom escorts us briefly to the gate, where a bunch of other dinos are getting dropped off by their parents. It's everyone's first date. Joanne smiles as she stoops down. You mean like crouches, squats, or leans? Stoops feels so negative. It's like a weirdly negative term in a neutral activity. Stoops down to give me a hug before pausing at Olivia, offering one as well. After a second or so, Olivia accepts, opening her arms out as Mom hugs her for a few seconds before separating, gently clutching the baryonyx' shoulders before separating. You know, I just want to point this out. Good that Anon is like a grown adult in a baby body, because if he was a normal kid, he would be so fucking salty how much air Olivia is just sucking out of the room she's in. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but the maturity required for him to be okay with his parents not caring about him that much, because there are really moments where it feels like they care a lot more about Olivia than anyone else, which makes sense. Olivia's in a bad spot. But on the other hand, you know, if he was a kid, he wouldn't get that. Like, he shows insane maturity, if anything. Today I learned Snoot Game Encore is having a demo without Spanish in it. I mean, considering apparently like half the community is Spanish, from what I can tell, that's a funny move to make. Not a haha funny move, though. Have a good day at school, you two. Will do, I answer this time. Mom giving one last encouraging nod before returning to the car, waving from the driver's seat. She's not the kind of mom to stick around for 15 years. We wave back. I said it right. We wave back before watching her leave, turning back to face the gate again. Although this was the same school Olivia had been going to for kindergarten, Mesozoic private. Now we may as well be on a different campus entirely. The main body of the school was a large ornate building with fields and basketball courts at the back of it. Well, duh. Elementary, middle, and high school were on separate rings, with the elementary school being the leftmost. As you progress, everyone knows that in platformers you go from left to right. Even in school, you go from left to right. You can't ratchet backwards, buddy. Only forwards. Failing a grade is like dying. You have to go all over again if you want to go right. I peer at Olivia, the baryonyx peering back at me. It was hard to tell what she was thinking, but I could kind of tell what she needed. You know, some reassurance. Oh, don't worry. My snout curves into a grin. First grade is just kindergarten, but with extra steps. I slug my bag over my shoulder. Anon, you are not strong enough to slug anything. And if anything goes wrong, we'll be together. Olivia pauses slowly before nodding, a small smile growing on a snout. With that, we both walked through the gate. Unfortunately, I was pretty accurate in my assessment. Grade 1 still had the immaturity of children arriving from kindergarten, but now with the beginning rigors of school life injected within, Olivia and I arrive at an already chaotic class. More than half of the desks already filled, as we briefly look around to find 2 chairs, side by side at the edge of the room. I guide Olivia as we sit beside each other. I'm not absorbing anything. Like, the, can't be good. That can't be good. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, thank God it was that load. Oh. Oh, God. Getting the... That's there. I have no clue what I'm doing. Let's take out a nice chill song, because I need something that's nice and mellow yellow. Skin Russell? It's simple enough. A little dramatic for kindergarten, but hey! Olivia and I arrive in an already chaotic class. More than half the desks already filled as we briefly look around to find 2 chairs side by side at the edge of the room. That's an odd sentence that you already found them, buddy. I guide Olivia as we sit beside each other, ducking underneath a paper airplane and peering around, both of us taken aback by the disorder and disarray, which only grew with every student arriving. The classroom door opens again. This time, it's an adult, and clearly the teacher of the class. A few of the students... listen, Anon, I'm okay with you considering them your mom and dad, but your class? You are an adult, Anon. Don't even pretend this is your class. This is her class, this is their class, this is the class, but it's not your class. You fucking weirdo. Although I guess, technically. And that's the best kind of correct, I've been told by lawyers. A few of the students notice and grow silent as she enters with a mug in her claw. She's a beautiful... Jesus, Anon, you're a baby. Please stop. Do not describe anyone in such terms. He literally cannot win, right? If he describes someone that's older than him, it's creepy. If he describes someone his age, it's still creepy. That's why you don't do those kinds of age shifts. Because it's usually where the fetishes hide. The bad kind. The weird kind. The lolly that's 1,000-year-old... I guess Anon technically is, isn't he? He is the 1,000-year-old lolly, except... he's just 18. At this point, 23. And I will not stop mentioning how old Anon is in reality. I'm willing to cut like 3 to 4 years because, you know, you don't remember any of this stuff, but... Man's, if he doesn't pass this with flying colors, I'm gonna laugh, and I will not stop until Anon is just... Jesus, Anon. It's basic addition. How did you fail first grade? Anon, how did you fail first grade? You know calculus! Although, to be honest, I've been told that if you become a really good mathematician, apparently calculus just overtakes your math brain, and you're like, you overcomplicate things or something. I don't fucking know. It's like carpentry. You can't hit a nail into a board anymore because you've been using fancy machines so much. You're like, oh, I gotta make this a dovetail. I've gotta make a dovetail, and then I gotta... She was a beautiful grayish scaled raptor with sharp eyes, as well as black and brunette flicked hair. Flicked? I think flecked is the word he's looking for. That curved to the front. I mean, hair generally hangs unless you just gel and style it. Her clothing was an old-timey pink Chanel suit, and her orange eyes are scanning the classroom as she approached, placing the mug on her desk, tail showing cream-colored striped spots. Interesting. So what you're saying is she should have worked in an office. Suddenly, the silence spread to the rest of the class. A few dumb stares on the dino boys, indicating a lot of kitty crushes being developed. They're allowed to, Anon. You are not. If only because she's your teacher, man. Come on. The power dynamic isn't healthy. Until she spoke. Alright, class, welcome. God, it should have been... They gotta invoke Mrs. Roberts at some point, okay? Like, if you're going into the past, the least you can do is show us young Roberts. It's just part of the... It's just, you know... If you go into the past, you gotta show baby Principal Spears. You have to show him. It's like, no, but Anon, he's like 30 to 40 years old in the game. 20 years ago, he'd still be... No, I want... I want him to be irrationally young for no good reason. Don't explain anything. It just happens. Also, just to point out, Anon was born in 2001, and I pointed out 2007 is when the iPhone releases. His mother had a flip phone in like 2006. Man, time goes fast. Also, weren't brick phones more common around that era? Until she spoke. All right, class. Welcome to... All right, class. Welcome to your first grade. Possibly the most masculine voice came out of her. Hey, I gotta ride the first go. And not a single kid in the room had expected that voice to come from that body. I stared in disbelief. Olivia beside me raising an eyebrow with a straight face. And before you ask, yes, this is my voice thanks to a smoking addiction I had back in '89. Holy shit, she's old. She explained as her eyes scanned the class. Actually, by this point, she'd be like 13 years older than that. No, 16. So she was 16 back then. She's 32-ish. Yeah, she can be pretty young. Her eyes scanned the class, taking note of our traumatized faces. So let this be a lesson to you kids to never smoke. It's bad for you. She then turned to the whiteboard. You don't use chalk on a whiteboard. You use chalk on a blackboard because chalk is white and you can't see it on a whiteboard, even if it would rub off on the stuff. And it's meant for markers. The name is Mrs. Proteus, but you can call me Mrs. P. And if any one of you make any pee-pee jokes, or how I need to pee really bad, or how the pee is silent, oh, you're gonna find out how deep the garbage can really goes, buddies. Any questions before we get started? A student raises his claw. Is it about my voice? He nods. I ain't taking that then. The claw then lowers. Mrs. Proteus is... What a name, Proteus. Then looks to the rest of the class. Alright, we're gonna be doing a little fun activity to introduce us to each other. I call it cocaine. I'll be making lines of 4. So get into groups of 4, kids. Unless you want to share your lines. Just the idea of a teacher just looking... Teacher, isn't cocaine going to make us even worse than we already are? Oh, listen, kid, I'm all ready for that. I can handle a couple of coked up elementary school kids. Oh, and then she takes out the estrus season taser. Because she knows what she's doing. She's establishing the pecking order. Coking up the kids. Oh. My eyes roll right towards Olivia. And as to mine, our selection is pretty much routine whenever group activities break out in kindergarten. With 2 members out of the 4 already decided, I noticed that the kids around us had already formed, leaving no potential members to be found. Let's look for 2 more for the group. Let's look for 2 more for the group, I say as I clamber out of my seat, Olivia nodding as she follows. We moved across the classroom together, heads scanning for any ungrouped students before Olivia tapped my shoulders. Over there, Musera, she told me, subtly pointing to a lone student, my eyes blinking to make sure I wasn't seeing things. She looks lonely. It was a human girl with black hair and dark eyes, her skin on the paler side as she scanned the classroom, with a hint of saddened anxiety. Well, she's nervous, no. With just a look, I could tell she felt alone, and from my experience, I knew it was going to remain that way when it came to attending Dino-filled school. Oh, it's Nona. Anna, don't talk like that about your gender-swapped self. That's mean. Not unless Olivia and I had something to say about it. Alright, Anna, this is the part where you grab your belt and you pull up those britches, and you get ready to man up. I turned my head, a smile curving my snout. Let's go change that. Olivia nods, returning her own smile as we both approach. Hold on. There is exactly one song that's legally allowed here. They are those other 2 weirdos. Hey, I ask, wanna join our group? Pausing for a moment, the girl then nods vigorously. The offer already working wonders on her attitude. Yeah. She climbs off the chair as I cup a claw beneath the end of my snout and thought. Now all we need is one more and we're... Hello? The 3 of us turn to see a light-scaled Allosaurus with regular blonde hair, 2 ridges over his snout and forehead while his tail rested atop the floor. A nervous look could be seen on his snout. You said snout 2 sentences in a row. I'm going to start deducting points. As if unsure what we were going to say. Can I join? Sure, I welcome. Olivia and the human nodding as we take in our newest member, just in time for Miss Proteus to call out. Any kids without groups can come to the front. I'll put you together. She then looked at the class. The rest of you start talking to each other. Tell each other your names, your hobbies, anything. Just as long as you think, just so long as the time you get up there, you can tell the rest of the class about your fellow group mates. And if you fail at this assignment, oh boy, you kids should be glad that I'm not allowed to use the taser anymore. And put your hand out, please. Anungus. Gosh. There we go. It's Anungus. It's coming back. With that sudden task in our minds, the four of us look at each other, using the moment to speak up first. Hey, I'm Ananogus. Which apparently is so that it sounds like anonymous still. Ananogus. Ananagus. But that sounds like analogous, which is not the same. I paused for a moment. I like watching movies. I decided, as after all, movie night is a time I enjoy a lot. What about you two? I asked. What about you? I asked, referring to the human girl. Oh, yeah. Domaret? Is that a pun? She straightened herself. My name is Domaret. I like fashion. Doe said the word as if just having learned it recently, turning her head to the Allosaurus. My name is Morgan Jack, and I like... He then paused, nose closed, as he seemed to gulp, tail grinding against the floor. Dino Nuggies? I offered in case I was having trouble coming up with a clear idea. Warden flicking his head to me as he smiled in relief, a sharp smile poking the sides of his snout as if suddenly hungry. You can say face, you can say muzzle, you can say snoot, you can say cheeks, you can say lips. Why is it always snout? Yeah, Dino Nuggies. The Allosaur excitedly. Dino Nuggies? Doe asked, as if suddenly activated by those two words. Oh, the T-Rex one tastes the best. Ma. No. It is the Diraptor-shaped ones that do. I turned, surprised to see that Olivia was the one who had said that. Not only had the young baryonyx actually entered the conversation for once, but she had done it to openly disagree. As soon as I noticed that Olivia suddenly looked taken aback at the sudden attention upon her, gold gray eyes briefly catching mine as if asking for a go-ahead. I simply gave her a warm smile, knowing that I didn't have to make that decision for her. Like, I imagine the guy who's uploading this at some point noticed that, like, you know, all these blank spaces are just ruining the flow of your story. Especially if you're reading this vertically. Half your screen is just nothing. So much more thumb scrolling. Oh, my thumb is getting tired just looking at this. Olivia would have to make... I simply gave her a warm smile, knowing that I didn't have to make the decision for her. Olivia would have to come to the right decision on her own. The baryonyx paused before looking forward, opening her snout. Olivia, she simply said, drawing. She then looked away, finding it all a lot more interesting all of a sudden. Well, at least Olivia made the right choice to engage conversation. Just not a lot of effort on her behalf was put on it. For now, at least. With all of us knowing something of each other, we moved to the front, ready to present. Classes come and go. Really just introductions and messing around. Don't elementary school kids sit in the same classroom the whole time? Like, don't... Let's high school and like middle school, it's more common, but in elementary school, I'm pretty sure you just sit in one room, right? Or do elementary school kids already go around and have lockers? That's so weird. You Americans are weird. One person can know elementary school science and math and everything. What the hell? I guess saying snooze now out a swear word. Do not use it. Classes come and go, and it's really just introductions and messing around. Like, elementary school kids... Okay, here's the thing, right? Elementary school kids are, like, in one class. As far as I can tell, it makes more sense. Because they need to socialize more, and it's really hard to socialize if you're just blending around, which makes more sense as you grow up, and, you know, you can make your social circles outside of school. But why the fuck would you mix and match elementary school kids every single fucking class? Do you really want all those kids walking around the place every time? Already, I knew recess was going to be pandemonium, seeing as a bunch of hyped-up 6-year-olds who had been kept in class all day were finally going to be released into the yard. You're saying that like it's a fucking prison yard, my man. So after a brief look at where the older elementary school students sat, Olivia and I decided to follow along, going from the middle of this broad cafeteria to the edge. Far away and pulling out our lunchboxes as the dinosaurs crowded and mule about a few tables down. Yeah, you don't have to worry about going to the lunch. No lunch money. Then again, I don't know American education. Good place. Olivia commented happily before digging through her bag, having already put her lunchbox on the table beside mine. Yep, it sure is. It's nice and quiet. I turned my head to her. You're gonna I already see Olivia with her... Why does it keep doing... Please stop that. It terrifies me when files stop working. I need a new music player, because Windows Music Player it just has a stick up its butt somewhere. And it ain't working. Olivia with her newly given notebook. I already see Olivia with her newly given notebook, busily doodling as she held half a sandwich in her claw, nibbling at every so often. Shrugging, I decided to do the same. Minus the drawing before I noticed two familiar figures rolled by. Doe and Warden. They take notice of Olivia and I, looking at one another before approaching. Doe with her own lunchbox, and Warden with a tray of food brought from the lunch ladies. I guess they do. American schools are fucking weird. Hey, can we... Doe gestured at the seat across from us. Yeah, go ahead. I nod. Olivia briefly looking up for her notebook before looking back down at the other as the other two students sit. Doe opened her lunchbox to silently eat what looked to be pasta. Fucking pasta? Why are you giving your elementary school kid pasta? They're gonna be so messy when they get home. They're gonna need like 15 napkins just to get their hands clean. While Warden ate a simple steak off of his tray. What we learn in Wani. Like, they eat raw meat. Like, they eat raw meat, and they think it's great. Anon has eaten raw meat by this point, right? How did he feel about that? Is there a mental hang-up, or is his body just like, nah, man, no, fam, I gotcha. Hey, what are you drawing? Olivia looked up from her notebook, a hint of surprise on her features before she peered at me, looking for guidance. To that, I simply shrugged, giving her the same reassuring smile as usual. She makes her choice, holding her notebook close to her and away from prying eyes. It's not ready yet. Olivia explained it off. Doe seemed disappointed, but nods in understanding. Warden now speaks up.
And, did you hear Mrs. P's voice?
To that, I scrunch my face up, snout tightening. Warden, we share the same homeroom. Seriously, is this how American schools work? That's so weird. Of course, I heard her. He perked up again.
What about my dad? I've seen him smoke. Will his voice get deeper?
The Allosaurus whirred. I opened my snout, leaning for Doe to beat me to the punch. Why does this keep happening? I guess the music's just busted today. Let me see if I can get something alternative. YouTube. Snoot Game OST. What's this? Please don't actually play the sound, thank you. What was the song we just did? I forgot. Those other two weirdos. How do I loop this? Like, you can loop YouTube. There you go. Loop. Looping on. YouTube should be a bit more stable, at least. I opened my snout only for Doe to beat me to the punch. Hold on, just make sure the audio is proper. Yep.
Don't worry, it's only girls who get it if they smoke.
Doe declares her clearly fact-checked declaration.
Which is why I'll never smoke. Me too.
Woden agrees anyway. I smile. There's supposed just something endearing about watching 6-year-olds try out the stand stuff, putting their own developing perspective, which would have been would be shadowed by a simple explanation of a parent. Maybe I can find one that's a bit longer. This is why I look for extended versions of things, because they work a bit better. Extend it to 5 minutes. Is that enough? Is 5 minutes enough? Well, 5 minutes is what we got. It's good enough.
We'll make it work, buddies.
But now, it was just them, yeah, trying to figure stuff out in life. Damn, when did I get so philosophical? When have my bully sense gone off? My eyes cautiously peer at a group of dinos a table away, probably group 5 or 4. Their gaze is flittering between us as they whispered eagerly amongst each other, just about able to pick up words such as skinny and compy. As soon as I saw them all collectively stand up and approach, I resisted the urge to sigh. Headed. What headed? They're headed. They are headed by a smirking Giganotosaurus. Hold on. See, this is, again, why you don't have elementary school kids just walking around. They're gonna get in trouble. Hey! Warden and Doe turn from their conversation. Olivia's raising an eye from a drawing as I cross my claws. You kids are in our seats. Weren't they like 10? Regardless of the irony of that statement. You kids are in our seats. Regardless of the irony of the statement, Doe nervously peers away as Warden awkwardly murmurs a sorry. The two of them getting ready to rise up. Only I wasn't going to accept this shit laying down. That's not how this works, Anon. I was going to... Tiny, you're just a little man. You're going to get your ass kicked. Don't bother, please. On top of that, the situation's a little weird. Because there was nothing this group of dumbass kids could do to scare me. Not anymore. I mean, I guess you're a kid. You probably recover from pretty much anything they can throw at you. Don't listen to them. Sit where you want. Wait, let me say that in Solace Creek's voice. Don't listen to them. Sit where you want. Doe and Warden paused as the attention of the bully group turned to me. The Giganotosaurus' eyes lock onto mine, and I don't shy away. The big dinosaur snout widening with a grin. Whoa, is this for real? He then moved to the other side, Olivia briefly peering at me and keeping a notebook out of sight. Her eyes narrowed as I noticed her claw holding a sharpened pencil. Oh shit, she's about to shank a bitch! Olivia, you can't just shank a motherfucker because you feel like it. Not in high school, or elementary school, or in any school. They send you off to one of those weird schools where things go bad. Good if you want to write a story, but otherwise not. A single look I sent was able to convey it and not get herself in trouble day one by killing someone. Olivia softened her grip on the makeshift weapon as the Giganotosaurus arrived. See, seriously, don't use big words like that too often. I understood why Olivia isn't left for that. She's one gator cheeseburger apocalypse. Oh. Attention thankfully put away from my foster sibling. But nonetheless, she seemed ready to defend me. Oh yeah, things are different now. The figgy little compy is telling us to back off. It takes me a moment to remember that 201,000,2007 is a different time. No touch phones getting whipped to catch potential drama. And I didn't rely on this dude's power level to lead to social suicide. In other words, he was under no risk of getting cancelled. Oh no. Fuck it. Fight will fire with fire. Jesus Christ, Adam, where the hell was this fire when you were 18? I mean, I guess he's like 23 at this point, age-wise, so he's probably like kind of, you know, he's getting to that point where he's slowly realizing that it doesn't fucking matter what anyone thinks, you know? He's like, man, what the fuck does a 10-year-old give a shit about that, man? I'm out of here in like 10 years. Fuck you. No, I'm telling a dumbass gignog to go away. After Jesus saying that felt cringy for some reason. It sounded a lot better in my head. Or if posted it on Turkmenistan Freedom Fighter forum. But real life was different, and was a different and disappointing story. At least it seemed to work. So, I'm just gonna... If you do the math, Anon won't see this guy in high school, will he? High school is like 4 years. The difference is 5 years. Anon will never see this guy again once he leaves elementary school, as far as I can tell. Maybe middle school, but not high school. He'll already be in college by then. The Giganotosaurus was caught off guard by my sudden use of vocabulary that was definitely not fit for a first grader. My own group silently watching the exchange as I looked to them away from their leader. What? Silently watching the exchange as I looked to them away from their leader, ignoring the surprised gazes of my own Olivia and my own group. Stop saying own. You're overusing the word in this sentence. Just keep it simple, buddy. Implicit. Implicit words exist.
I'm not even asking you guys to do much. Just go away from my table.
I shrug, hopefully finding a more persuasive solution in the future for a few insults flung my way.
We were doing
Wait, is this the other guy? Oh no, this is Anon saying something. I'm not even asking you guys to do much, just go back to your table. I shrug, hopefully finding a more persuasive solution in this exchange for a few insults slung my way. You were doing fine where you were before. Why'd you come over and bother us? That seemed to strike a chord with them. They started scrumming, murmuring at each other, as if to try and come up with an explanation. The Giganotosaurus' snout tightens, clearly pissed off now that I had made his posse act without his consent. So, my problem here is, like, describe his face scrunching up in anger. I don't know, the snout is just distracting from your capacity to describe things at this point. Noses can twitch, lips can quiver. Just saying, man. Get it out of your system as fast as you can. He was growling now, showing off his sharp teeth and narrowed gaze. But what was he really going to do with me? Now that a few of the students were watching, there was no way he could just outright manhandle me off my chair without getting into trouble. To that, I smiled like a little shit. No! For a moment, I actually did grow a bit worried. The Giganotosaurus was looking ready to eviscerate me, only for him to turn away with a sneer, calling to the group.
Hey, Ferris.
A pudgy Carnotaurus, who looked far more distant from his fellow friends, stepped away from the group, nervously peering as his tiny arms seemed to fiddle each other.
Yeah?
Get this! What did I call him again? Hold on.
Get this faggy compy off my seat.
The Giganotosaurus grumbles as he walks off, my eyes blinking. Holy shit, what a giant fucking pussy this guy was. I would have respected him more if he actually had gone away and roughed me up. But I'm not given much time to react to the sudden shift to proxy bullying, as the Carnotaurus arrives and shoves me right off with his big head. My community form pushed off the seat as I quickly stand up, spotting a safe area. Doe and Warden looked horrified. Olivia looked ready to fucking shank a bitch. Somehow I'm still talking. Really? You're gonna get that one expendable friend to do your Wait, excuse me. We need the big man voice. Really? You're going to get that one expendable friend of yours to do your dirty work? I then begin to cautiously move to the destination, looking to the Carnotaurus to plead out of earshot. He literally called you fat ass! Come on, man, friends, do not do that! I could kind of guess what the deal was. The Carnotaurus was the kind of kid who was complicit because of his lack of real social life, probably withstanding the verbal abuse because it was the only group he knew. My words seemed to briefly resonate with the bigger dinosaur, hanging his head down and to shake it as if ashamed before another command rang out, laughter threatening to break out the voice.
Hey, grab him and put him in the trash can.
The Carnotaurus turned to me, murmuring a sorry as he steps forward. Well, so was I. Because I arrived where I was aiming for, the corner. And I'm doing the mad shuffle. Motherfucker going scoot, 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 left and right. You know, I don't think the song's really appropriate at this anymore. I know exactly what song we need for this. Let's see if we can get this fucking thing to work. I think it's You Can't Say It Here I'm thinking of. No. The corner. I stand there as the Carnotaurus' giant snout bumps against the edges, his stumps and arms stretching out to try and grab me. Yet I'm entirely out of reach due to the angle, standing there with a blank expression on my face as I peer past the Carnotaurus' struggling form. Warden having disappeared while Doe looked on with worry. Guess because she's doe-eyed. Olivia, on the other hand, looked ready to burst out in laughter at the sight, and immediately I was close to it as well. Who would win? A deadly 200-pound Carnotaurus or the fucking corner? Jesus Christ, Anon. He's 10 years old! Jesus! You're an ass. I'm actually not familiar with what Carnotaurus is. Let me look one up. Oh, it's like a T-Rex, but smaller. Man, he's got a big head. But it's not wide, is the problem. How the fuck can he not grab Anon? We need a snout counter. You know what? You're free to make one yourself once I upload the recordings. Go for it, my man. Just look where the audio spikes as I scream my lungs out in frustration. Or just look up the actual thing itself. And I'll use it in the next stream or something. I don't fucking know. You know what? Scary Dave, consider this your homework. Actually, I could do it too. But I'm lazy. You could go through the last chapters 1 to 6. Count, just use Control F and look up all the snouts. And then give me that number and I'll just put a snout counter up somewhere. And for next time, I guess. This man used the word snout 20 times a chapter.
What the hell are you doing, fat ass?
The angered yell of the Gigantanosaurus broke me away from my thoughts. Contours and I blinking at each other as we both looked to the source.
I can't reach him.
Then use your teeth.
That seemed to be the final straw. The Carnotaurus turning away from the corner as a scowl grew on his snout.
What?
I stepped away from the corner looking between the two students.
My parents told me it's super dangerous to bite someone.
I have to say, I had a lot more respect for him now, since, you know, he's might be pudgy, but he's standing up for himself.
So I'm not doing that, Jeremy.
The bully Giganus, the bully Devil Ho, now revealed to be Jeremy, looks taken aback before his snout curves into a snarl. He loves his snouts curving. We got 3 curving snouts.
Rep to Jesus, how much of a big fucking baby are you listening to your mama and pop?
So he has to listen to you? Oh wait, no. So he has to listen to you? I finally speak out, ditching the... We're done here. I speak out, ditching the corn to stand beside the Carnotaurus. Who says this? Oh, better he has them to listen to than your fatherless tale. Anon, you can't just accuse a man of being fatherless. You gotta do your research, my man. A second later, silence. At that moment, I knew I fucked up. I absolutely, 100%, unapologetically, mega, just monster combo fucked up, shit face my ass. Because the look Jeremy gave me wasn't one of anger or annoyance, but just pure primal fury. Like he'd regressed back to a feral state and was ready to snack on a little compy that had wandered too close to his maw. He charged right over the table, knocking over a few... How the hell has not a single teacher even noticed this is going on? I don't know, this feels like a situation a teacher should say something about, like, hey, cut that out at the minimum. Because remember, these guys are like in what, 8th grade? They're up there. 1st grade? Yeah, they're like 5th, 6th grade. And they're bullying some fucking kids. Again, this is why you don't do this. The age difference is way too pronounced. Poised to strike. Doe screaming as Olivia's eyes widened, her snout opening to call out my name. I remembered saying how I wouldn't be scared. How this was nothing. That was a fucking lie. But who could blame me? A charging and enraged male Gigantanosaurus was a pants browning. Just say pants-shitting experience, Anna. You're an adult. It was a pants-shitting experience to the extreme. And all I could do was raise my scrawny claws, balling them into fists, preparing myself to fight for my life. Wait, what? Oh, I forgot. Jeremy's the other guy. Yeah, Jeremy's fucked up.
He's inky.
Except, the pudgy Carnotaurus had gotten in the way and caught Jeremy by the chest between his horns. They have horns? Man, I'm not doing the proper research here. Oh, they do have two little horns, like little devils, like little devil boys. The pudgy contours had gotten in the way and caught Jeremy by the chest between his horns, the air getting knocked out of the bully's lungs before he was knocked back, falling to the floor. I blink before seeing Olivia stand in front of me, two colored pencils held in her claws, reverse grip styles to acrobatically dissect my attack. Olivia, that's an impractical stance because you can't leverage your limbs like that. Who the fuck thought of that? You in your sleep, anime boy. Jeremy slowly stands up, looking at me and my two sudden bodyguards. I could already see the posts that feel when together were big. But even so, Jeremy looked ready to charge again, this time focused on the defending connoisseurs before a very manly voice called out in anger.
What the hell's going on over here?
We all looked to see Mrs. Prodyas returning with Warden, claws on her hips as she scowled. She's a lady in a fancy suit, don't piss her off.
Tell me who's defending themselves and who's starting it. And I ain't doing this, you all getting punished, bullcrap.
Yeah, the Geneva Convention made collective punishment a bit of a pain. They could take it up to the Supreme Court, you know. Immediately, all those sharp digits point towards Jeremy, Mrs. Prodyas approaching to haul him by the elbow.
All right, mister, to the principal's office with you.
Jeremy looked shocked for a moment, before it turned to horror. For some reason, even if I barely knew anything about Jeremy, other than that he was a piece of shit bully, I can imagine why. After all, someone doesn't just rise out of bed and decide to be an asshole. There's always a reason. I recall the words of someone. Someone who would have wanted me to step in and at least say something. What? Like Spears? Hey! I stepped forward before Mrs. Prodyas pulled him away. Jeremy! He turned his head to me, his snout tightening with an angered glare, as if expecting the next insult now that he had been thoroughly caught and unable to physically retaliate. But that never came. I'm sorry. His eyes blinked. And Mrs. Prodyas too. I mean, she's just wondering how the fuck a 6-year-old has this emotional maturity. And you're going to see a psychiatrist, and they're gonna ask why the fuck you're so weird. Well, they were being a total dick. And that you try to bite my ass, which is extremely gay, by the way. You're the real faggot here, ass eater. You don't deserve what I said to you. I don't think anyone does. Like I said, I don't do your fucking homework. There was a pause for a moment if Jeremy was trying to analyze the sincerity before looking torn. He then turned away, eyes peering down as if in contemplation. Not really accepting my apology, but not rejecting it either. I'm suddenly conscious of Mrs. Prodyas staring at me.
Not bad, kid, she smiled. Not even a lot of adults can do what you did in the minute any wrongdoing, especially to a bully.
The teacher then frowned.
We're gonna have a talk tomorrow about your use of language.
Oh, crap. Oh well. Jeremy and Miss Prodyas leave as I turned to everyone else, and everyone clapped. I mean, that probably would have happened if this was some sort of movie or shitty or cringy Reddit. Listen, music's going off for a hot minute. He had a fucking brain blast. But teacher, this isn't salt, this is sodium chloride. And then he ends up in the teacher's garbage can. He had it coming. Fucking cringy Reddit posts. But no, dinosaurs simply went back to their business. Olivia now lowering her guard as Warden and Doe opposed.
That was so scary,
cried Doe, her eyes wet with tears. Yeah, I actually agree. That was. I then looked to Warden. Good thing you got Mrs. Pee-Pee here in time. And you just solidified her nickname for years to come. Oh shit! Apparently Shigeru Miyamoto turned 72 today. What an old man. I'm surprised he hasn't retired, but I guess he does live in Japan.
You don't just retire as a Japanese person.
Warden shakily nodded as I noticed the connoisseurs from before, finding the nearby vending machines a lot more interesting of the sudden. Clearly embarrassed for his conduct before. But really, it was what he had done after that had mattered. Hey! I called to get his attention. Well, thanks a lot. You saved my tail. Anon, you're a human. Why did you talk like this? Like, Can I just point out that Anon has no body dysphoria? And the fact he doesn't seem to bother him at all. Like, either man is like 100% 50,000 apathetic, or, you know, the writer does not want to approach that subject of body swaps, which is like a big part of it, technically speaking. You know, on top of the whole age problem that's going on. I'm just saying, like, it really just feels like they wanted to tell Anon is a babby story, because we're not using his age that well, other than that he's weirdly mature. But nothing requires him to be an adult, you know. None of this requires Anon to be a certain kind of person. Maybe the references, you know, to Reddit and stuff, which don't even exist. Actually, we need to look that up. No, Reddit existed for 2 years by this point. Or a year or so. 2005, June 23rd. Yeah, that's fair enough, I guess. Area served worldwide except Indonesia and China. Huh. Anyway. He slowly nodded before tilting his big head ever so slightly.
Are you seriously a first grader?
To that I simply nod, noticing the rest of his friends approach. Oh no, they're gonna play soccer out.
Hey, Billy, wanna go play some soccer out in the field?
Billy the Carnotaur scowled.
With you guys, seriously? You guys were calling me fat ass for the entire year.
Jesus fucking Christ. It's the first day of school. You mean last year they've been calling him that? They peered down.
Sorry.
He seemed to consider their apology for a moment before crossing his arms. Why are we focusing on this? Consider it if you buy him a tight soda. Why are they focusing on this? Like, there is no way Anon is going to be friends with this guy. Like, no, even in, like, a better world, the age difference is just, like, too fucking weird, you know? This man, as far as he knows, has at least twice as many years of being a conscious, living, breathing thing as Anon does. Like, we don't need to know this about him, okay? This doesn't matter. This would happen somewhere else. Don't put this into your story. It's just distracting. Unless Billy comes back and is part of the gang. Like, and that feels extremely weird. What is this group made of? It's made of 2 canon characters from 2 different games. It's made of 3 OCs, one of whom is too old. One of the canon characters is technically at least twice as old as he should be. Shit's fucked up. I mean, admittedly, if you want to focus on that as a concept, that's great. But as someone who's been overdoing the concepts and themes in a single story, like, you gotta pull the brakes, buddy. You gotta pull the fucking brakes. I felt like I had resolved that situation perfectly, but there was at least one dino who had asked me something, noticing Olivia's inquisitive gaze upon me. Why? Why? I tilted my head. Why what? Olivia's snout tightens. This man loves it when snouts are, like, under pressure. They tighten, they curl, they, you know. Olivia's snout tightens, as if looking for the right words before speaking up again. Jeremy was the mean one, but you were nice to him in the end. Her eyes blinked, peering into mine. Why? I paused for a moment, considering how in a normal situation how easy it would have been to just label someone a lost cause. Never try and understand them and just put yourself in the shoes for a single moment. I mean, considering that this is post-ending 1 Anon, fuck you. You should know this. Especially since you've had at least 5 years to think about this shit in detail, because what else are you fucking doing, buddy? You've also helped Olivia. Like, by this point, Anon should just have made this part his own. Again, 6 fucking years, man. 6 years. Because that was difficult. More than difficult. After all, no one can live 2 lives and one is already hard enough. That's not even about being nice, just understanding. And then repeat that was spoken to me a long time ago by a certain principled Neanderthal that now resonated with me. Because I am not the only dino in this world. But I am the only human. No, don't ask. It's not important right now. It comes up in the DLC. Olivia blinked, as did Doe and Warden. Everyone is fighting their own battles. Everyone is fighting their own battles, Mr. Moose. That's why you should always pack spare ammo for your M16. Feels like I dropped a bombshell of emotional growth on everyone. The young perspective expanded by a new and incredible idea. Well, that's what I like to think. In truth, my moment didn't even last 5 seconds before the school bell suddenly rang, indicating the end of lunchtime. Most of all food had gone uneaten, and my eyes were widening at that fact.
Oh, crap.
Joe cussed before the three of us rushed to the table, spending the next 15 milliseconds inhaling our snouts, stuffing our snouts with our lunches. Fucking snouts, man. But even so, I had a good feeling as I struggled to swallow down a half-chewed sandwich. A feeling that the rest of elementary school was going to be different for me this time around. A lot better. It's elementary school, Anna. Why do you give a shit? Oh, like, isn't the whole point of American society like you will? God damn, it's so weird. I don't even know. I feel lost. It's like I have a map, but it's incorrect. I appeared to see Olivia actually scribbling despite our rush to leave. Sandwich nestled in the edges of her snout as her cheeks remained full. I managed to catch the bare glimpse of her drawing alongside many other doodles. The one she is working on right now is revealed to be Billy, squaring off against the corner of a wall, the inanimate location somehow having grown arms and legs to assume a boxing stance. And beneath it was the statement, fighting their own battles. Good enough. Close enough, I guess. The next chapter will be his time skip with lots of snippets of people growing with a surprise at the end. Oh shit, I love surprises. I love it when the surprise is $50 though. That's the best surprise. Can't wait for the time skip. Making Anon based like principal skiers. Anon, you have no enemies. What are we going to do with those pencils, Olivia? Can't wait to see Olivia try shanking someone to death. Because they called her drawings cringe. We saw this one. And then we got Spoopy Girl, who has the fucking ferret PFP. Jesus, you can't lose with a ferret PFP. How do you lose with that? There's just no way. You are a winner from the ground up. From the top to the bottom. This is where I go. Oh, male Allosaurus. Ugh. The fucking why are all the stuff why are Allosaurus always cocks in what you read, man? What are you reading? Those gotta become very, very close. And then someone in July next year said like they would have been mentioning yep. Wojak and Doomer. Wait a minute. Doomerette. Oh, and Warden. Ugh, fuck. Come on, man. Ease up. I mean, I guess that proves that Billy and the other guy aren't coming back because, you know, their names aren't funny jokes. Wait, they're making a Fang plushie? Considering with the end of a recording, I should probably... The chances are minimal, but you can get modifications to make that Fang plushie a bit more usable. Like stuffing a brick in it so you can throw it at someone with great force. They'll never see it coming. Alright, let's get to the next part and turn on some music. We got Day 6. Chapter 6, Days to Remember. Let's turn on a different track this time. See if we can find something. Swagger? Yeah, let's go with this one. Swagger. Oh, sorry. To Swagger. No extended version. Although I can find... Oh, it's the Encore OST. I forgot. That's up now. That exists now. Fossil Fuel. Encore. Man! I'm kind of curious to listen to it. This is our replacement for To Swagger. Well, I'm going to listen to this. I gotta be honest, though. I think that Encore is just, like, the wrong idea. I feel like it's genuinely missing the point. Like, part of Snoot Game's fun is that it is so straightforward. You know? Production values tend to be very impressive and fun to listen to, but on some level, I don't know, man. Alright, let's turn on To Swagger. All right, let's get into the groove. Grade 1 whizzed by like a montage, but there were a few highlights. The first of our little... Oh, I forgot, this chapter is long. This is the rest of the stream, by the way. Once chapter 6 ends, we're done. We're gonna rank the cast on how much I would bully them. Wedgies, swirlies, stuffed in lockers. What options would I use? The first of our little group involved a few finessing of missing homework, which Warden had somehow eaten. What a shit storm of a sentence. The first of our little group's highlights involved some finessing. We were missing homework since which Warden had somehow eaten. Doe had to distract the teacher while Olivia drew a really convincing copy of his paper, all while I finished filling in the questions. There was also an extreme game of hide and seek that involved... Hold on. An extreme game of hide and seek that involved a small after-lunch teacher-led manhunt for Olivia, who, as it turned out, was hiding in a school vent and drawing. Oh, that just ends with a weird sound. Jesus, what do you do? She apparently didn't hear the bell, which was suspicious, but the group stayed the same. Jeremy didn't bother us anymore, not that we really saw much of the Gigantanosaurus anymore. We also remained on good terms with Billy and his own group. Yet something else also happened by the time second grade began, when school cliques were being drawn in the sand. In my previous life, I would have sulked around, seeing all the friend circles. Now I can be part of one. This time, I inadvertently helped and found my own little clique. The B clique, as I began to think of it. We were popular, but not too popular. Just well known enough by everyone in our grade to not be bothered or gossiped about. Most importantly, we were never really involved in any school drama, but we were close enough to know almost anything about it. It was perfect. I don't even know how it happened or began, but suspected it was because we were so approachable in a weird kind of way. None of us in our group of 4 could ever say we ever had any ill will towards anyone. And whenever someone came to us, we were good listeners. Just the epitome of chill. Yeah, you become Reed, man. But there's a problem. That's shit for storytelling. Your stories are about exciting drama and conflict, not about people being way too fucking chill. Again, that's why this time zone you're operating in is weird. I'm just saying, Luigi. Wait a minute, someone's supposed to be so... We were just the epitome of chill. I guess a lot of students liked us for that. As of now, one of the so-called nerdy students, Skinny Trudon, who had usually been found playing trading card games like Science the Dispersing by the library, was telling us, Jesus fucking Christ, this is not one sentence. You can't intersperse this long of a fragment in between this. This is too much. You can say who plays the game, or who is usually in the library, but not both. It's too much. It's its own sentence now. Magic. It's a sentence.
I swear there was a dead rat inside.
Ew! Doe exclaimed, sounding somewhat between grief-stricken and disgusted.
I mean, poor thing, but ew! It was pretty nasty.
Warden agreed.
But I don't think I would ever look at Burger about the same again.
Suit yourself. I'll still be eating them. Olivia spoke up, her eyes still attached to her drawing. I noticed over a year that Olivia was becoming more and more involved in our conversations. I mean, I guess the whole parent killing is to speed up her isolation. And perhaps the biggest change that ever surprised me was that,
By the way, how's the progress looking?
the Trudon asked. Olivia looked up from her notebook. Oh shit, the fucking audio busted again. I don't know, but the sound player just ain't feeling it today. Olivia looked up from her notebook before showing the paper off in its entirety. She's showing off the paper and she's showing off the paper in its entirety. Implies she's showing off the drawing. Why not say including the drawing? What is the basis? What? So she holds up her notebook and a card she was using for reference, which is not a basis, it's a reference. Olivia looked up from her notebook before showing off the paper. The drawing was beside the reference material, one of the Trudon's trading cards. Have a look. The Trudon's face lit up with a smile.
Wow, what the basic rendition of Darwinius.
Darwinius. Literally who? I asked, raising an eye, still not entirely privy to the details of science the dispersing.
Darwinius in the lore is the bringer of science, Miss.
Science, miss, the Trudon explained. Damn, so he evolves presents? So he evolves presents and stuff when you play him? Only to see an astonished look on the nerdy dino.
Yeah, that's exactly right. How did you... Are you a fellow reality...
Jesus Christ, get your planeswalkers out of here. The player is the planeswalker, and then they fucked it up. Huh. No, I'm not even sure what he even said. I literally just guessed. Sorry. Oh. The Trudon said in disappointment before beaming as he accepted the picture and his card back, as well as exchanging $5 to Olivia, who quickly pocketed it.
I'm gonna give it to Stacy, she'll love it.
The Trudon then left as I turned to Olivia, giving my best impression of a 2-year-old.
Olivia, could you give me some money?
I asked in my most pathetic begging voice possible. She responded with a soft whack of her rich tail against my shoulder. My entire being pausing for a second. I suddenly lay dead against the table, trays and lunchboxes, clattering as Woden and Joe broke out into laughter. Olivia let out an amused air through her nostrils as her snout struggled to remain closed. How many snouts are in this chapter? 20. It only goes up. Hold on. Gotta admit, you're really good at falling. My foster sibling noted. I smiled, but also lay deep in thought regarding money. Now that I was going through life a second time, doesn't mean I should be exploiting my knowledge of future events. What I can think of right now is a certain digital coin they've been making an appearance. Snoot coin. Hey, you do know the word snoot, motherfucker. If I saved up my allowance I was currently receiving, investing when it came out, I'd be getting a 300,000% gain. Or about $300,000 for every 100 I saved and invested. That could be set for life and probably pay for college for Olivia and myself 10 times over. Yes, it's all coming together. Ah, yes, it's all coming together. With my newfound ideas for potential wealth, I get off the chair with a smile. You haven't seen nothing. The hem of my pants caught on the bench seat, my eyes widening as I fell atop the floor, capturing a Seth MacFarlane pose as I landed. Olivia was now laughing her head off alongside Doe and Warden, who were hardly able to keep their tears from their eyes. Jesus, Anna, you still suck. Still embarrassed to tell me I didn't mean to do that one. Hit it! Music filled Joe's garage as the practice jam began. It wasn't very large. Oh wait, it wasn't very large, just enough room to cram the drums. Oh, Joe's back out of prison. I played to the best of my ability. Proper electric guitar is still too big for my claws.
And a second-hand guitar was a Stratocaster with a whammy bar.
My throat is. Ooh. I got acid, and I also have a weird taste in my mouth, which I usually get when I've eaten too much sugar in rapid succession. You know, like all your receptors are busy. But that doesn't make any sense. We're going to the chorus.
We can jam in Joe's garage. His mama was screaming, his dad was mad.
Oh, he's singing. You know, you can use you can put in like UTF-8 music notes and stuff.
Weekend jam in Joe's garage. His mama was screaming and his dad was mad.
And somehow, I'm keeping up, laying down the melody as I read from a poorly scrawled note. You're 7 years old or something, right? How old is he? So the years was rolling by. The years was rolling by. After a while, the song finished. The digits of my claws saw as Uncle Frank ended with a final strum. A gigantic smile on his beak as he turned to look towards me. His own guitar to his front. Of course it is. Where the fuck else would it be? Amazing little man. Give me a high five. I smiled, graciously clapping his long claw with my own. Claws are fingertips, man. What? I'm gonna scratch him with that little clap. I'm suddenly aware of the clapping coming from the entrance. My parents sitting out in the front driveway, yet close to the car in case the cops suddenly show. Oh, that was amazing, dear. Mom called out as I gave her a bashful smile. The word bashful never sat right with me. It's just a silly word. Yeah, way to go, Anon. Yeah. What did I do for Dad? Yeah, way to go, Danon. Dad adds, enjoying a bottle of beer in his left corner. Frank suddenly turned to the left of the band. What do you guys think? Rhythm guitarist? The drummer, Joe, nodded. I tilted my head looking at Frank. Rhythm guitarist? The rhythm guitarist provides rhythmic pulses in conjunction with other instruments. I blinked for a moment at the rather in-depth and detailed explanation provided by my normally lax granduncle. In other words, you're the support for pretty much everyone else in the band. The glue that holds together the song. In the band, man. Together. I take a moment to peer down at the guitar in my claws. I'm not expecting such an important role to be associated with the idea of rhythm. I then break away from my thoughts, thinking of it now instead. It's crazy that I was already heading to grade 4. It's just been a couple of years. It's like 9, 10. 8, 9, 10. Be glad you weren't skipping classes, Mr. Knows Everything. Right after the last week of a lengthy summer break. Soon, Olivia and I be seeing Doe and Warden again. Speaking of Olivia, I've been having trouble getting a new idea off the ground. Speaking of Olivia, I turn to the hood of the Dodge. She's drawing in her school notebook as I call out. Hey, how do we look? She looks up with a smile. See for yourself, dude. Olivia was now taller than me. She had grown a lot, and so did her drawings, showing off an incredible doodle of me strumming the guitar. Yet my snout had looked to be twisted in pain, my claws were swollen. Claw hurty, I was apparently yelling. My snout! We got so many snouts, man. Is shut as I looked towards her with an expectant gaze. Olivia giggling. Let's put on a new song. You know, we're having a... I like this one a lot. She turned the page, my eyes widening, suddenly conscious of Frank leaning back to pierce her. Whoa! What was right? A sketch of Frank and I that might as well have been from a high-quality magazine or something. She's like 10. Jesus. Like, I know that Olivia is implied to be super good in the other one, but, like, her earliest achievement is, like, when she's 14-ish. Like, there's some degree of, like, that's kind of reasonable. High-quality magazine, Jesus. And, don't be too nice. A little more abstract than the joke sketch he had shown before, but way more beautiful for it. He's able to capture the emotion and atmosphere of his play. The guitars weren't depicted as instruments, rather extensions, creating different realities altogether. Olivia, can I pay for that? Frank asked. She shook her head. No need, Frank. No need, Frank. You can get it for free. Awesome! Olivia exclaimed. Frank exclaimed as Olivia tore the sheet and handed it to him. I'll take this with me next time I get arrested. Let me keep one thing before heading to prison. He said with a smile on his beak. How the fuck is he not in for life? Olivia and I just stare, wondering how the hell Uncle Frank always ended up in trouble with the cops. He's got that cocaine, giving it to kids. That's what Mrs. P is all about. Oh no! Why were we even introduced to Mrs. P at all? She mattered for like 5 minutes. Jesus. You don't introduce characters you aren't use. Okay, so what the fuck looping means. To which I say, screw you. Olivia and I just stare, wondering how Uncle Frank always wound up in trouble with some cops. Hey, Joan, Ed, you two gotta check out... Why don't they call... Doesn't he call her Joe? I guess he already knows it, Joe. You two gotta check out Olivia's drawing, I swear. Both of them are scary talented. Well, Anon has like an extra 18 years of experience to go off of. He then scowled at the drummer trying to get a peek at the paper. That's not the right peek, it's with 2 E's. Not you, Joe. Not after what you did with the last one. I tilt my head at that, as do Olivia and my parents. Our parents. This is communism. They are our parents. Why? What did Joe do with that one? Maybe it helps if I open it as administrator. Usually that helps. No, but that's... No, that's with executables. I then wish I didn't hear the next line, judging by Olivia's look, and neither did she. Well, this one time Joe ran out of toilet paper and... Oh, shit. Gross. Ew. So, what are you gonna pick for your after-school sport? I blinked at Warden's... Oh, no.
What are you gonna pick for your after-school sport?
I blinked at Warden's question before remembering. 4th grade had just started. And so did an expectation of fitness that was announced by Mrs. P during home. Why the hell are you still seeing her? It's been 3 grades, my man. Some Mesozoic private was trying to fulfill because of reasons. I wasn't really listening, to be honest. I don't know yet. I admit with a shrug. Warden looking to Olivia and Doe. What about you two? I'm doing badminton, the human declared with a smile. Me, I'm good at swimming. Swimming's good. Warden nodded before turning his head to me. I didn't expect his next question. Anna.
Hey, Anna, what do you think about doing boxing with me?
I look at him. Boxing? Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Warden scratched the back of his head.
I mean, admittedly, I'm kind of on the fence with it as well, but I couldn't think of anything else if I wanted to.
You're what, like 10 years old?
I'm not really good at running or jumping, and boxing sounded kind of cool, so...
I considered for a moment, realizing that Warden was looking for a partner in this endeavor. Why not? After all, it's not like I had anything better to do. I had straight A's with my education so far, because I was technically going for the 4th grade again. I didn't pick out any after-school sport. What time is it? Okay, listen. I'm gonna quote Linkara, because this quote is so appropriate. What time is it? I am so lost. 4th grade has just started, but he already has straight A's? Why not just say going through elementary school again? That way you ignore... This implies that he's having straight A's in 4th grade. Which makes no sense if 4th grade just started. And they're picking out things... I'm just saying, my man. Oh, man, you'd have to wait for Olivia finishing her swimming lessons. Might as well. I'm not sure. Where do we sign up? I'm just saying, like, the fact this isn't this guy's first languages. I don't know, man. Like, this was interesting at first, but mellow yellow on this. I'm kind of starting to... Not a lot is happening. I don't know what the story is about. There are so many words, and I don't know what they're about. What's the fun? Where's the excitement? Well, the chat's nice and quiet. By the time it was after school, Warden and I showed up for the first lesson in the school gymnasium. Our PE clothes were on as we sat atop a few benches towards the side, meant for the audience during a basketball game. Just basketball? A few other students offering differing grades, doing the same as fellow 4th graders took notice of those. Why is this one big sentence? Jesus, split him up a little bit, man. And on Warden, you two decided to go boxing? Yep. Been in this club before? Yeah, since grade 2, the Triceratops answered. You're gonna love it here. For a moment, I couldn't tell if they were sarcastic or genuine as Wood nudged my arm.
Anon?
Yeah, there's no familiar faces, there's no central conflict. Things are just happening. Like, the problem is nothing is happening, okay? It's cute character building, but you know what they say, start off with a high note. And we did. We started off with a few really good high notes. And now we're just spinning wheels. And I get it, right? Some people just want to write a little bit of fluff. But yeah? I then saw it was looking at a familiar Jeremy having recently entered, holding bundles of practice mats. It was Jeremy. It's been 3 fucking years, Anon. He doesn't give a shit at this point. I couldn't remember the last time I had seen him since he had gone on to middle school. Exactly. Possibly in 8th grade by now. Oh yeah, because the building has all the schools. I guess he would see him more often. And by the time in high school, he's already out. Jeremy placed a few mats down before. How would he recognize you? I mean, I guess you're like the specific kind of dinosaur, but outside of that, like, you're so much bigger by this point. Huh? You too? There was no anger in his voice, or at least that I heard. Just surprised that his snout opened. Warren and I awkwardly peer at each other as I answer. I think I'm gonna remove some of the... Because we haven't had a lot of moments where I'm like, we need to filter this out. So I think I'm gonna lower the lower boundaries to the crop on this. 400 is good. Oh, shit! Okay, cool. Now I can read along a little easier. Gosh, again, we need a central conflict, and we need it fast. If you spin your wheels for more than a chapter, and there's... Because, like, the central conflict is Anon growing up, right? But nothing is really happening with that. We're not doing anything with this. Like, Olivia is about as... Olivia is, as far as we know, as canon as she's ever been. Anon is, like, Ending 3-esque level Anon. Like, nobody's really doing anything that we don't already know, that we aren't familiar with. If you go into Fanon stuff, you kind of want something fresh, something funky, something woo, a little bit exciting. And we're not getting that. It's very fluffy, and I don't know if I like fluff. I don't know. Like, that's why I like Snoot game, is that it just fucking kneecapped me out of the bat. Hey, Jeremy, then awkwardly. What? You don't... Listen, peering is a focused activity, okay? Hold on. Look with difficulty or concentration at someone or something. You don't peer away. You look away. Your gaze drifts. But you don't peer away. Like, this guy is just loosely translating things off the cuff. Get a thesaurus and learn some words. You're this many words in, you know? Someone should have pointed this out by now. Should have been me, but it's too late. Welcome to the boxing club. Welcome to the boxing club. He quickly moved away. After a few seconds, Wharton whispered, yeah, he's in like, he's hitting his teens.
Did not expect to see Jeremy here.
You and I both. I agree. No, you concur. You are concurring with him. But it looks like he's changed, for the better too.
Maybe that encounter we had in first grade is what did it.
I shake my head, rolling my eyes. Doubt it. There was one thing for sure. It looked like Jeremy had mellowed out, having lost the enraged scowl I'd remembered him for. The double door suddenly opened, and a lot of students raised their head towards the new figure. It was a giant of an ankylosaurus, with blunt horns and ridges, and a mace-like tail trailing behind. He's an ankylosaurus. Don't describe him like that. Like, if you're gonna call him by his species right out of the gate, don't include the parts that are obvious, you know? Don't describe a human and then describe his hands. Unless they're unique hands. Interesting hands. Like, for Anon, dinosaurs are obvious and normal. Like, he wouldn't describe a Triceratops to you. He would just say, a Triceratops. Similar to how if I were to describe, say, an African American, I wouldn't go into weird stereotypical details about it, you know? I would just say, you know, the guy. It's just, if you live in the world, it doesn't make sense. It might make sense if they're unique and distinct, like the blunt horns. Maybe some sharpen them. I don't know. Like, do something with it. Give me something, man. I need something. I need someone to start bleeding. Shank someone, Olivia, for fuck's sake.
Mace-like Jill dragged me behind, wearing a red hoodie with double-striped line running down his arms, barrel chest, and holding a gigantic barbell. He's boxing, making me wonder, did he really carry that all the way here? Jeremy had set up a chair on a cardboard box. The Ankylosaurus took a seat, placing its weight. Placing the weight. The Ankylosaurus having a what? That's so weird to say having a seat in that. I don't know, man. The English here is screwing me up, and I need something to distract me. Hold on, I gotta jam the in.
I'm your boxing teacher.
He spoke, his accent thick and heavy, placing a broad hand atop the barbell.
All right, kids, and this is my weight.
He then looked at us, a serious gaze in his eyes. He clutched the rightmost plates.
She's 150 kilograms alone. They can hold 50 discs at once.
Costs 400,000 calories to hold this weight for 12 seconds. Are we talking big C or small c? Kilocalories or baby calories? Yeah, that can happen. He then stood up.
My name is Coach Mikhail, but you can call me Coach Misha too. My name is Coach Mikhail, but you can call me Coach Misha too. Now,
He stood up and most guttural shout known to dino kind yelled loud enough to echo through the entire station.
run, babies.
I am like a baby.
Those who had attended the club before were immediately sprinting, Ward and I taking a moment to get the men before joining in, catching up as we ran laps around the gymnasium. I noticed the Triceratops from before, opening my snout to ask as I catch up. Is he usually like this?
Keep running, babies.
I'm suddenly caught off guard by more demented yelling.
Run! Run!
He is a baby. He's just a little man. Finally, after a few more laps, we'd all worked up a good sweat and warm up. What the what? Mikhail roaring out again.
All right, stop. All right, maggots, stop.
We do so briefly as we pan for exertion. The Ankylosaurus giving a thumbs up.
Very, very good.
He then turned as Jeremy wheeled a punching bag hanging from a pole.
Before we learn to fight like men, we need to learn how...
It's a boxing club. Of fucking course you teach them how to punch. That is what boxing is, you dipshit. Are you teaching them street boxing? Jesus. Jeremy must have been the assistant coach as he gave a nod. That's why he's being so polite, because he's told to have responsibility. Not interested in Primal. I think the fact that I keep getting distracted by chat messages I'm getting really tells how little this is really keeping my interest. Again, I might just read ahead and see if this is salvageable, but at this point, I'm getting a little worried at, like, how... hold on. I think I'm going to do something. I'm going to look at the tags and see if anything exciting happens up here. It talks about psychological trauma and panic attacks, and we had one of those. Trauma, friendship. It doesn't really describe itself as fluff. I want to hug that Nasser, take it easy, creating moments, give up something, end of a prologue, hello Volcano High. It doesn't scream excitement to me. I drew a thumbnail for this. I just realized it'll be pretty difficult to decide what to draw thumbnail-wise. You know, like... I really like the fuckery that is Living Memories because of how goofy it is. It's so off the fucking wall. It's great. It keeps my attention. It's exciting. It's refreshing. That's what I say, Luigi.
See how he tucks his thumb beneath his finger and how the dominant claws against the chin?
What? Miko then pointed to Jeremy's legs.
His knee bent for more power, not like that tiny itty-bitty baby stand. Now look!
Jeremy turned his body, launching a perfectly executed punch. The bag briefly swinging away from... That's what punches do to bags, my man. He's in the club. Yeah. I mean, I'll be drawing more thumbnails because, again, it makes for a good background and it spices things up a little bit. it also requires that I know what the fuck the story's about. So I may be putting up like, hey, I don't know what this is about. Nah, I'll just take a look. Chapter 1 is usually good enough. Good stories start at chapter 1. Or as a guy told me, write until the first interesting part in your story happens and then just start your story there. Like, don't fucking bother with the rest. Don't introduce characters. Show me why I should give a shit. Then you introduce your characters. Gosh, it's a mellow song. I keep saying mellow, mellow yellow. But I'm not writing. I'm allowed to repeat myself as much as I want. I'm allowed to say the same thing over and over again as much as I want. And then I can cry as much as I want. Ow. I don't know why my brain suddenly started thinking about like the needle-filled toilets in Saw games. What a thing.
Punching is not just your claws, it's your entire body in motion, adding strength and power.
You mean leverage and momentum. Mikhail then moves to the side of the gymnasium to make up more punching moves.
All of you find a partner for each bag. One hold it steady, one to copy Jeremy. He's a good example.
I'm just saying, if we are like 10 seconds in and Jeremy is like, he's sexually assaulting me, I'd be like, fuck yeah!
What the hell?
I just wonder what the hell happened that we just jumped this out here, man. Woo! You know what I'm talking about. Give me drama. We do as Coach Mikhail asks as I stand with Warden, my friend going first, as the Alisar clenches his jaw into a fist. His claw into a fist, not his jaw. He's gonna bite it. Mikhail inspecting everyone's stances as I clutch the punching bag still.
Very good. Nice.
He took notice of Warden.
Stance is good, but fist all wrong.
He pointed to a meaty digit identifying Warden's sharp thumb claw sticker.
Sharp claws are for little cowards. Fists are how men fight. Use your fist to fight. Also, I don't want to get sued.
Megalovania. Oh! Megalovmania, yeah. Which is indeed based on Megalovania. I pointed it out to the guy when I made my application. They turned me down. And for good reason. Because I became such a mess so quickly. I would have been completely unreliable. I'm never applying again. Unless someone comes and asks me, I'm not gonna bother. It's just not worth the risk. But yeah, he probably tells them this because he doesn't want to get into trouble. This is why you wear gloves. Partially for yourself, but also for the other guy. Warren adjusts his knuckles, balling into a proper punch before the coach gives the go-ahead. The sound of a dozen punches being thrown and striking the bags ring out throughout the entire gymnasiums. My eyes widening at surprise. The force felt from the other side. I always knew dinosaurs tend to be strong, but feeling the strength ever so slightly. Maybe I was strong too. Yeah, shouldn't you be just as strong, Dinosaur Man? You fucking idiot. By the time we switched, I was throwing my own punches. I realized... Who the fuck am I kidding? My scrawny compo fist barely shoved the bag. At least not like Warden had, as I pulled back, inspecting my open claw with a dour expression. Miguel must have taken notice. The ankylosaurus is approaching.
Da!
I know it is what you think. You think you are weak. We got the others for no fault of your own. That is why you must try twice as hard and grow big and strong. Eat your spinach and Brussels sprouts. Eat Brussels sprouts. They are sprouts from the Germans, from those They are sprouts of filthy Nazi scumbags.
But sir, Brussels is located in... That's in Belgium, sir. They were occupied by the Nazis.
That is not how we talk about it in Russia.
That sounds wrong.
That is why you must try twice as hard and grow big and...
Or is he saying it like heavy?
That is why you must try thrice as hard and grow big and strong, little one. Just like my comrade Sully once said.
He flexed a clothed bicep, raising a determined fist.
Never give up.
I had no idea who Sully even was, but I didn't need the words of encouragement. Yeah, we're just invoking canon characters for kicks now. While old me would have been content on giving up, I was determined to stay. Finally having found something challenging to do with my time. Yeah, because school isn't going to cut it.
Now! No. Now then!
He moved to the side of the stadium, disappearing beneath the bench chairs as a loud rustling was heard. Mikhail then returned with an entire boxing rig lifted over his shoulders.
Ha!
He then tossed it, momentarily feeling my body leave the ground as it landed. Are we just getting silly now? Because that's not... This guy would give Principal Spears a run for his money. Like, Principal Spears does like, launch the door. But it is one comedy moment that for some reason gets pointed out in ending 1.
You fight like men.
Jeremy suddenly showed up, carrying a giant box full of protective gear. We equip ourselves, finding myself wearing padded headgear that felt much too big for my head. The same with the gloves, Warden fitting perfectly with his own gear.
I will put you up with new partner.
He started with Warden assigning him to the Triceratops student, going through all the members for having music.
You go with Jeremy. You go with Jeremy.
Surprisingly, it's Jeremy who was unnerved by the selection. He's tapping his claws together as he approaches my side, prompting me to look up at him. Hey, I creaked. Hey. Why is he so awkward? Jeremy, did you grow up? Stop it. Why is your character development happening off screen, Jeremy? I bought the ticket to see this happen. Warden and the Triceratops are squaring up.
So, how was elementary school? Mrs. P still teaching?
Elementary school, and he's doing extra... Jesus fucking Christ, what is this school? Private schools are weird, man. Seeing as how big some dinosaurs can grow, they must have stronger bones than humans. We getting silly? And then Fang shows up like the Terminator, and talks like Snake Plissken. It was the Terminator sent by the real Fang. Prepare to be snooted. What? Ah, my eye! It's full of snoot! It's so sharp. I pause before nodding. Yeah, still with the deep... Why does Anon care at all? Like, it's one moment in, like, several years of his life. Things mellowed out. Anon has, like, a whole other life. Like, yeah, it just feels so weird.
I'm just saying, Luigi.
Huh, yeah. Jeremy paused again, peering away for a moment before... That's not what peering is. Stop peer-reviewing shit. Start seeding, my man. Hey, about back then. I blinked, looking at him. Sorry, I was a real piece of shit. He's 13, he has a crackly voice now. I don't really have much of an excuse. There's a lot of anger taken out that it didn't deserve it. I shrugged before nodding my head. No, it's cool, man. That was like, what, 3 years ago now? Yeah, but, he sighs regretfully. Oh, I really did try to hurt you. All because I was reminded my dumbass stepdad and the stupid shit he would say to me. Child abuse. Child abuse. Give me some fucking plot! Something happen already! I don't care that Anon is joining a class. Like, the wedding sequence with Inko was interesting because he was processing his feelings on someone else. Anon is just going with the motions, my man. I guess I wanted to say thank you. He stared forward, Warden and the Triceratops experimentally jabbing at one as they circled around. This is like lesson 1 and they're already doing like actual fights. That seems a bit dangerous. I'm just saying, man. Maybe teach him like the basics of safety in the ring? I don't fucking know. Someone's gonna get hurt. I blinked again, listening as Jeremy continued. Again, he can't be a main character. He has too simple of a name, considering they already did 2 puns. The day after a good sense of the principles, it got me thinking how I saw others and how others saw me. You're 10 years old, fuck you. I realized. Jeremy paused. Like, this would take him a while, if anything. Hell, Anon didn't learn his lesson in one day. Both ways about it. I wasn't happy with the result. Either way, I saw them as my enemy. And they saw me as a lost cause because of a kid. You were the first one that shook that outlook. He then smiled. And when I began to change my mindset and keep an open mind, I started seeing that there were those who really wanted to help me out. So is this story just Anon as Principal Spears now? Because I don't want to read that. I want to read that if Anon is actually like a principal to school, you know? Or has, I don't know, something going on. Come on. Happen. Happen. I generally stunned at that story. Damn, that's, a small smile crept on my snout. That's good to hear. Abracadabra. To stop the meteorite, thus ending Goodbye Volcano High. Man, imagine all this happens, and then, like, Goodbye Volcano High is just happening, like, down the street. Just down the fucking street. Huh. Yeah, they had this big meteor scare, but only in their neighborhood. What, was there only the neighborhood gonna get a hit? I guess so. Jeremy nodded. So my license... How the fuck is it... What? I've patched things up with Billy and I'm repairing things with my mom, especially now that the asshole's out of my life. In all honesty, I was supposed to change school since my mom's job wasn't gonna cut it, which is fine, but then she met another guy, and I gotta say it's pretty... What the fuck? Anon said, like, one thing, and this guy's life magically... Anon, are you a good luck charm? Because that's interesting, at least. That's something happening that requires Anon to have some fucking brain moments. Who? Jeremy smirked, nodding his head. Oh. Oh, no. Your dad's a teacher. Ew. Who was currently letting out a range laugh as Warden and Shadow knocked each other down. Holy fuck, it's like a movie at this point. Miss your mom been together for a while now. I think they're really gonna commit to a marriage soon. Damn, what's this BS? The aestheticist and coach title, not just nepotism? Oh, fuck off. Dude, I still can't believe you were in first grade. Not to give you an offense, but aren't kids in that grade, you know? Just stupid fucking kids. Yeah. Well, how long are we until the next... Oh, there's a break. There's the break for no one. We gotta... Nah, we can make it. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly before trying to explain it off. I guess I... like... In a better story, this is a moment where Anon is like, hey, should I just tell someone about this? Because who the fuck is Jeremy, right? I could just tell Jeremy. He wouldn't believe me, but I would have told someone, and I would feel a little better. Maybe they think I'd be crazy. Maybe they try to disprove it. I don't know. Just sounds like a better story than, you know... Like, Anon seems perfectly okay with everything happening to him, which is so obnoxiously boring.
Jeremy and Anon, you fight next. I'm going to get out the brass bull. Whoever loses gets cooked for dinner. And sandwich.
We both look at each other before climbing into the ring. You climb into the ring, not onto the ring. If you stand on the ropes, that's not allowed in boxing. An awkward look on Jeremy's snout. Hey, listen. I can go a little easier on this. You have to go easier or you'll fucking murder him. You idiot. This is boxing, not Magic the Gathering. And even then, I believe you should go easy, because... I know that losing's part of it. But if all you do is kick someone's ass, the vast majority of people are going to be like, I don't like this, because I didn't know half of this was possible. Like, great, I learned so many rules, but I don't give a shit. All I feel is that I got my ass clapped. Great, cool. I don't know, like, go easy the first few times just so they know what the fuck they're doing. Then you can clap them silly when it's their fault. This summer, coming to Volcano High 2, the Snoot game. Parody of the Squid Game. Oh, get out of here, buddy. I get into the stance, briefly deciding for a moment. You know, go all out. I say with a smirk on my snout. Shouldn't your snout curl into a smirk? Are you sure? Yeah. Coach McKill said I was going to have to try twice as hard due to my size. I can't really afford to be handled with kid's glove if I'm going to take... You're still, like, 4 years younger and on. He's in his teen... He's starting to build up that teen muscle, buddy. Jeremy paused before nodding. All right. He then got into position as my mind comprehended how much bigger he was. A 250-pound Gigantanosaurus to my meekly compy build. Maybe some part of my mind arrogantly thought that just because I was smaller, I'd be harder to hit. As if to say, I'm sure to win because my speed is superior. Well, as soon as I saw him rearing his glove... Fun fact, that's not how that works. Smaller and faster doesn't help you in a fight. It does not help you in the way that you hope it does. That is the simplified Chinese for death. Su. Su. Not su, but su. Excuse me. Nani no sh... Oh. The only thought I could think of as a giant red glove approached my hand was one simple noise. Oh. Before getting completely knocked the fuck out, falling over as my legs flung up before the landing back down, a resounding who filled the gymnasium as every single student was landed to my downfall. I'm blinking the stars from my vision, suddenly conscious of Jeremy by my side, trying to say something, his snout mired with worry. Why can't people's eyes do any expressions? Can't people, like, blink or squint or frown or anything? Like, it's all in the fucking snout. Can't mouths curl into wry smiles? Can't lips be pursed in small smirks? mired with worry as Coach McHale clambered onto the ring to check the damage. Can't people scratch the backs of their head and have awkward looks in their eyes? Can't they snort loudly in confidence? Warden doing the same out of worry for me. Hey, you okay? Jeremy asked. I paused before nodding, the padding having saved me from brain trauma, much less a concussion somehow. I'm pretty sure the ring is also flexible enough to catch falls, to some extent. I slowly stood back up without much assistance, Warden tilting his head in worry.
You alright, Adon?
I nodded before Jeremy spoke up. Shouldn't your teacher be immediately telling you how concussions work? Because I feel he should be doing that. Hey, sorry about that. I should have held back more. It's cool, man. You're gonna apologize for. If anything, I got this weird yearning, a clear goal set before me. I really want to learn how to punch and fight like Jeremy just done. Fatima Fang versus Olivia Crawford. Crawford? The only reason that Fatima Fang is in the heavyweights is because Fang has wings. It adds so many pounds. She's in the heavyweight category for no good reason. Olivia's in it because her wheelchair got counted for some reason. And also, she's actually pretty fucking fat. She's pretty hefty. Let's not beat around the bush. She's got a lot going on. I don't care that Anna wants to learn this stuff. He's already established that he can get better. This is not a new level or exciting moment. I really wanted to learn how to punch and fight like Jeremy just did. In fact, let's go again. Jeremy looked shocked, and Coach McHale crossed his arm and let out a pleased laugh. His mace tail smacking the floor of the ring. He breaks it. He's gonna break it.
Very good. Less famous actor man once said, it is not about how hard you punch, but...
Oh. Not be a baby coward. I'm pretty sure this guy has at least 2 lawsuits on his ass regarding students that got severely injured, and he's like, they are cowards. And it's like, no, they are fucking children. They're going to lose their minds playing football, not boxing. One of them makes us money. Pretty sure the quote was something different, but I didn't feel the need to correct him. Instead, voicing another matter. Yeah, but this time, I spoke with a hidden person. I don't want to learn how hard I can hit. I don't want to know how hard I can get hit yet. Go a little easy on me. Sure thing, Jeremy exclaims with a smile. Two of us squared off again. Began sort of letting me get off a few practice feels to get... I don't know how to tell you this, but, fighting is a very involved thing, even if it's for sport. The amount of physical contact you go through. You can't just start beating the shit out of someone day one, okay? This is so awkwardly handled. I don't know how to feel about it. The pacing, the flow, the set... There's nothing! It's so... Why was I suggested this? Well, let's see where we go next. This is all still Chapter 6, by the way. Look at all this shit. We started off with guitar practice, and now we're, boxing? And now we're somewhere else. Oh, shit. Whoops.
Did you guys hear the announcement?
Yep. Olivia answered, Doe nodding as I blinked between everyone. What announcement? Olivia turned her head to me.
Dude, were you passing out? How are you passing stuff when you don't listen?
I shrugged with a cheeky grin on my snout. Snout. I'm just more powerful. She responded by thwacking her tail against my shoulder as I let out an exaggerated cry, before passing away against the table. He's dead now. That's the end. He passed away. But I had noticed I didn't feel the tail thwack as much as I did before. Maybe boxing was paying off.
It's our Group 5 project. They'll have the school fair closed to the end of the semester.
Do lay down, Do-Re-Mi, against the table, defeated look on her face. I have no idea what I'm gonna do.
Same.
Warden agreed with a downcast expression.
I do.
Olivia blatantly states.
I'm just gonna draw.
She paused.
Once I figure out what to draw, that is.
I looked between everyone. So does this have to be an individual thing, or... Anon, you can't just fucking cheat. Doe shook her head.
You can sign up as a group of 4.
Her eye peeked behind her arms.
But even if we did that, I don't know what we do.
Oh, we're in grade 5. I forgot about that. Maybe we can make a movie or something. A few seconds later, I came to realize the silence that came from everyone staring at me like that was the Messiah. Wait, you guys are serious? I asked, snout open in shock. Warden cupped a claw beneath his maw.
I mean, my dad has this new camera that can record a lot and is a good quality.
I mean, smartphones are... Yeah, smartphones exist. At this point, the iPhone is released already. For quite a few years at that. 2007, and it was 2005-6 in first grade. We're 4 years later. So yeah, we're looking... iPhones are around, and they've already probably seen some refinements too by this point.
I could do the clothing,
Doe added.
And I could draw set stuff, I guess.
But what are we gonna make it about? What's the theme? Doe rose from the table, new life injected into...
Let's do cyberpunk dystopian crime mystery noir.
That's oddly... Have you been playing a Shadowrun game without telling me? Or have you been playing that Eureka game they're going to release in 20 years? But I completely love that suggestion, a smile growing on my snout. You know what? Fuck it, let's do it. I turned to Olivia. Paper. She ripped one out and handing it as I drew the title. What should we call it?
Cyberrunner 21,777,077?
Doe offered. Clearly having thought of this. You can't invent a video game like that. Stop it. That sounds cool, but a bit handful for the title. But I guess we can stick with that until it's got a working title. Then I took my Allosaurus friend. Warden?
I really don't know.
Olivia?
Movie 1.
Movie.mp3. Is Sonic the Hedgehog.exe even a thing at this point? I don't know when that released. We need to look this up. It's time to learn some history. It's probably on Wikipedia. Oh, hell yeah! No, oh, but it is on a list of creepypastas. Jeff the Killer is 2011. It's a bit early for that. Russian sleep experiments. Zolgo text. Sonic.exe. 2011. Huh. Bit too early though. We need to plan. We need a plan to make $50. I can't go to Tahiti for $50. Are you stupid? I need at least $150 for that. What would I even do in Tahiti? I love the idea of like a flash cut, and I'm on Tahiti. I'm like, what am I even doing here anyway? I bought the ticket, got on the plane, got there, and now I'm there. It's a fridge logic. You guys wouldn't get it. It's very refined. I shook my head. How are you? The most creative in works of art, but the crappiest of titles. As before, getting another well-deserved tail thwack on my shoulders prompted me to chuckle.
Fine, but we're not using that title.
I paused for a moment. How about... Look at the group. Literally E. Magic E.
Oh, that sounds mysterious. I like that.
Warden nodded in agreement as I looked to Olivia. The baryonyx giving a shrug to indicate that she didn't really care what we picked. Warden spoke up, dropping another tidbit of info.
You know, they said that they'll preview a month in advance of the progress of our projects. Apparently they really like an individual group who have their project done on the whole stage for the whole school parents to see.
I scoffed. Geez, that sounds crazy. Good thing we're not probably gonna... Okay, listen, I have a problem with this. This is where you cut a chapter. We've set a new direction. We've made an emotional cliffhanger. Where are the fucking chapter cuts? Again, it feels like he just writes 1,000 things, doesn't even take a second look, and just dumps it. Unfortunately, I have standards for me. And I don't care how bad your writing is. But I want shit to happen, okay? Just make some shit happen. Movie, I don't care. We know Anon is doing stuff. This is like the third time Anon has gone like, I need to do something. I don't care. I don't want Anon to do something. I want something exciting to happen. You start off with such a wacky, out there premise. Fucking parents died, Anon dies, reincarnates. You can't do basic ass school projects after that. Your stakes are so fucking stupid already. Filming our movie had been awesome, using most of our school time to creating literally E. It was about a future cyborg detective named E, played by resident Alice of the group warden, who was trying to solve a mystery. Of course, getting storyboards, the outfits, the actors, mostly consisting of fellow students, parents, a few teachers, organized on camera, was a challenge. But we had fun doing so, giggling as we reviewed the footage. We even borrowed a green screen from some movie prop store that was selling it away. Of course they're selling it away. It's a fucking store. They were giving it away. You say they were practically giving it away to imply that it was cheap. And all our hard work paid off. Just a shame I had to jinx it all those months ago. Much to our surprise, we were given... You're in 4th, 5th grade? You're like 10 years, fucker. Like, you making a decent movie is impressive. Logistically, at least. Playing through the projector. Fuck. I was stood beside the school computer reviewing the footage. Having come early morning to download our movie from the hard drive, knowing how slow and crappy it would be. And by this time, iPhones exist. It's not that slow. But at least our movie seemed to have come out fine. I think this is around when LCDs and flat screen started taking over too. As of now, it's just dealing with the nausea and anticipation. Why do you fucking care? At this point, right, Anon is like, again, 10. He's like 30 years old. Then Fang and Liv turned out to be cousins. Do I have to go to Tahiti for that, or is that like a separate storyline that's merging into it? Like I'm there and Fang and Olivia are there and just some random Tahiti person is like, my family. God, I love silly movie and special plots. You know, they get a special actor, like a special actor for the role. I love those. But as our movie seemed to come out fine. As of now, it's just in with nausea and anticipation. A few students' parents already sat and waited as the fair progressed. Hopefully it wouldn't go like the last projected presentation I watched, knowing that this time me and my group were the ones who had done it. I need a drink.
Anon, is it ready?
Doe asked. I gave a thumbs up. Olivia and Warden anxiously peering behind the curtain, separate from the computer to join them, scanning the growing crowd to look at Olivia. Are they here? Are they here? She nodded, pointing to Mom and Dad, who were currently sitting out front. I mean, I guess I don't know how to tell you this, but at this point, Anon has spent most of his life with his new parents. As far as he probably can bother to care. Like, 10 years are between him and Fang dying. Like, at some point, his new life will forcefully assimilate him, especially since he's giving a shit. And again, that would be an interesting thing to think about. How does Anon feel about, oh shit, it turns out I'm okay with a new life. Should I feel guilty? Am I okay with this? Is it weird to be okay with being 10 years old? Alright, I can't help but feel a surge of happiness, never having parents show up at any personal school event. I turned away, an awkward look on my snout as others joined in. The anxiety fell between us, the school projector turning on. Well, time to play it, I guess.
It'll be fine.
Warden assured.
We did a pretty good job.
I nod, approaching the computer is connected. Black screen previewed on stage, the murmuring crowd goes on. And then I play. I don't know, man. It first started with the scene of Agent E, Earl just Warden, sitting on the seat of an empty bus with a thick trench coat Doe had found at a bargain bin, given metallic-looking water tattoos on the side of his head to make him look all cyborgy. He then sat up, his voiceover speaking out. In the year 201,007,077, they rated Janoga Park as the worst place to live in Dinofornia. Agent E then passed a few actors, mainly just Billy and his group dressed in tacky clothes, pretending to pester a fellow student on the bus, to sell the whole dystopian look. Main issues, sky-high rates of crime, More dinos living below the poverty line than fish. Why don't you write something like, but more dinos below the poverty line than fish beneath the sea? I don't know. Write something stupid. Come on, fucking sell me on this. I love those shitty lines. They make me piss, shit, and cum all at once and throw up, just for good measure. We're not even a minute into the recording, and people are like listening to this. That's how you know it's a Safi Crook original. The bus then exited the tunnel and showcased some movie magic. I had placed a green screen right over the window, and by pure timing of the bus exiting, Agent E was in the perfect position to stare out to the cyberpunk metropolis, which was really just one of those royalty-free screensavers. Oh, hell yeah, baby! The only problem is that we had to time it right, so the amount of reruns we had to take on the same bus ride over and over was painful. Well worth it hearing the wows of the audience. Can't deny, it's all true. You're like out of control, Agent E! My uncle Frank, now Commissioner Frank, told Warden's character. Oh well, this works way better if like this has anything to do with anything instead of just being a cute little thing we're doing on the side. Again, it really just feels like he wrote a whole bunch of stuff. Like, if you feel bad about your writing, this is up there, apparently, as one of the best. Fuck me, I guess. If I can't reach this level. Whatever I'm missing, here it is. All while tuning a guitar. You should find like a different hobby or something. Olivia had pretty much transformed the rooms into a futuristic looking, colored cardboard leading to wires and painted buttons, maintaining a weird but cool retro future look. Listen, drawing on paper is not the same as stage production. I'm saying, Olivia, that's a whole different skill set. Like makers and backdrops, perspective. Come on, Olivia, fuck you. That's not transferable. Go talk to Adam Savage. He'll tell you all about it. What? Scary Dave. Better explain yourself real goddamn fast, Scary Dave. Because I'm reading Living Memories, and it has, like, a random Toho character in it, and I want to know what kind of confusing we're talking. Because if it's the fun, stupid bullshit kind of confusing, I am on board until the final chapter. If it's bad writing confusing, maybe not. You have to tell me, Scary Dave. This is important. This will define a generation. Fun. Oh, hell yeah, baby. No. On something more fun. Let's put on something more fun. We're dealing with a fun movie. I gotta say, Warden has amazing acting range, able to sell the serious and dead look of a cyborg as he comprehended some lack of a job. Suddenly, Agent E immediately had a background. God damn it! Before knocking the stool over. The auditorium broke into laughter at that. I like how there's an ellipses and a period. That's so weird. Ellipses, period. Ellipses, period. Why are you doing both? I ain't telling you nothing, skin bag. I scoff off screen, Jeremy nodding in solidarity beside her. If the exterminator finds out, I'll kill both of us. And if I don't, Agent E growled. Suddenly the sound of something heavy dropping played on camera. The three of them turned their heads to see Coach McHale suddenly appear, this time with sunglasses, and even bigger trench coat with buckles, like the Tyrannosaurus from Iridescent Evil. Iridescent Evil. I am the exterminator, Mikhail proudly declares, and I must exterminate tiny little cowards. He then began to move forward, breaking out into a full sprint towards the camera that looked genuinely. Hasta la vista, babies. The Terminator already released Anon. They will know that you infringed that copyright. Don't copy that floppy. The three of our screams suddenly cut off to the big screen, as screaming laughter filled the auditorium. I mean, to be fair, it's adorable. It's adorable. Battle damaged Agent E walks atop a scaffolding, which is really just a small band-aid stuck to his forehead. Sorry, but the way you describe this implies the scaffolding is just a band-aid stuck to his forehead. Hey, kid. He turned towards a giant holographic version of Mrs. Prodyas. Really, it was because we had placed our teacher right next to the camera, wouldn't sort far away, pretending to look up at her. What? Oh, they made her bigger with perspective tricks. What the fuck is it called? A physis? I'm lost in the sauce. Oh!
Coelophysis.
Coelophysis. What a day, huh? What a day, huh? She then noisily rustled through a bag of potato chips for offering.
You look hungry. I can fix that.
The Coelophysis then chewed on another, rumbling her bag for another.
You look like a good Joe.
Our audience was impressed, whispering murmurs asking how we'd done it, while also giggling about how loud the potato chip bag was and how dead inside. Why does this child look dead? But God, why are we going through all of this? Like, you do like 2 scenes. This is... Finally, in the end, Agent E had saved the patient, which was really just dough and a multitude of bandages that covered most of her face. Warden lies down against the stepfather school, staring up at the sun. It was supposed to be an ambiguous open ending to make the ending think of whether or not Agent E had died, except Warden raised a claw so the sun squinting his eyes. Okay, that's really bright. Suddenly, the credits rolled, and the entire audience broke into cheers and clapping. And, well, it wasn't my idea, but after the insistence of Frank Doe, Olivia, and Warden, once they found out... With the record strum of an acoustic, my background cover for the credits plays.
They keep playing sad songs on the radio.
What is that?
Dude, that's Anon singing, I swear.
You can play guitar? What the hell's going on? Try to ignore the embarrassing whispers. Shouldn't this give him, like, huge... Okay, listen, I don't know how to tell you this, but shouldn't Anon be like, man, I remember when Fang was in front of the... Because if you want to tie everything together, you would have Anon go through that. Like, man, I was at that concert for Fang, and I suddenly realized why Fang was like that. You know, just a cute little tie back. Otherwise, it seems a bit... I don't know, it's you gonna do something? I'm just saying. I try to ignore the embarrassing whispers that I'd somehow managed to hear over the commotion as the footage, then went to our numerous bloopers and mistakes, such as the bus stopping and causing Warden ability to fall over. The next showed Olivia suddenly appearing behind a painted cardboard beside Frank, her eyes widening before disappearing behind it again. Why was she there?
But I'm still the same, not much has changed, I still know where I came from.
Another showed Coach McHale accidentally rushing into the camera and knocking it over, his bald head peering over as his snout opens to say, uh-oh. Miss Projas accidentally dropping the bag and cussing as Warden looked back as if unsure if he was in the right position.
And it feels like I'm ready for anything if you wait for me.
Finally, Doe hugged Warden tightly at the waist at the end of our filming. Her fake bandages loosened to show a joyful smile as the Aslatosaurus looked ready to faint. Olivia and I clasped a handshake with the sun behind our backs as if just finding out the dino piece was real. Ugh, the dino piece is just a big old dino nuggie.
All I ever wanted was so far from what I needed. I'll write my songs, they'll sing along, and hope time heals everything.
God damn it. Oh, my throat cannot take that. I'm not a professional singer. That's not a singing voice. That's me just fucking killing my throat for kicks. Finally, we exited onto the stage, and the crowd was now going insane as they... I mean, I would like to learn to sing. It seems fun. I love bellowing my lungs out. Although I'd make myself deaf. The crowd now going insane as they stood up to cheer their hearts out. We're standing here! Like a couple of embarrassed goobers before seeing Jeremy and Billy, the former smiling and the latter trying to clap his tiny hands. Their own group behind them. This win didn't just belong to us, as Warden and I got the same idea. Approaching the edge of the stage, and surprisingly to us, we offered to lift them up. They gladly accepted, as the others who participated in the movie also joined up with us. Warden clambering off to run and guide Coach McHale. Doe and Olivia briefly left before returning with Miss Projas, our first grade teacher, smiling as she joined. Seriously, I want to know what the fuck the confusion is that's going to happen. I need to know. Dave, I need to know. With all of us together, the clapping grew to deafening proportions, all of us taking a moment to bow as the parents all got to the front, cameras and video recorders ready. Mom and Dad managed to wrestle the best spot. Dad's snout opened with the happiest smile I've ever seen, and Mom took picture after picture, unable to hide a picture of joy. We all posed, except for me. Like, I don't know how to tell you this. This is the ending of a story, or it was all a dream. It's, you know, like a big weird twist. Uh-oh, Anon's parents are dead now. Whoops. I mean, killing parents twice in a story is a bit tacky, but... Mikhail fired a finger gun, and Mrs. Projas held her claws behind her back, all while Jeremy and Billy were doing some random shit. Doe was hugging Warden again, and the Allosaurus returned the gesture. Oh no, they're gonna kiss. Olivia was looking at me, broad smile on her snout, as if to say, we did it. I guess we really did do it. It made me think about the past 11 years, and how much I had gone through, and how much better things were. This was my life now. Hell yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. My snout curved into, hell yeah, into a grin as I gave a thumbs up. And I was making it count. Puberty hit me like a fucking truck. And by that I mean, they don't mean pimples and acne, since dinosaurs that scale. Or the rampant horny drive. My adult mind curbing the cringe, thank God. But by a single divine gift, my growth spurt, I had grown taller. Much taller, reaching perhaps a little over 6 feet. Far more than my dad, to everyone's shock one dinner night. Hell yeah, welcome to the 6 Foot Club, Anon. I'm still taller than you. Guess Grandpa Mike would be pleased to know that I won the genetic lottery and inherited the height of a drug dinosaur.
Therizinosaur.
A therizinosaur. Therizinosaur. Such a weird word. But that's how you know, Luigi. Alright, let me turn on another song. You know what? Let's go for Bayside Bumming It. My claws ran down my eyes and over my snoot, staring in disbelief in the mirror. I had developed subtle musculature on my biceps and arms, as well as the bare hint of definition on my stomach, adding to my burgeoning tail and athletic build. What the fuck? I murmured. A lot of murmuring. Why not whispering? Lightly flexing all those muscles as those muscles tightened. I hadn't even gym pilled in any meaningful way. I just done boxing every week after school. Maybe join some sessions of lifting and pickup, since Coach McHale was a good teacher after all. But this, when we're getting into a routine of working out, actually led you a pretty decent body. I can tell you, man, it does. I admittedly flexed again, growing more impressed with my figure and growing a little horny. Oh no, I'm gay. Whoops. Anon, it turns out your body is gay, but your mind is straight. Good luck with that, motherfucker! Pow! Oh, that's just like... That's a great twist. Give me a twist, come on! I love twists. I live for the twists. I live for the moments that matter. Anon is getting too much. It's just fluff now. Why did you kill off Olivia's parents if you're just doing fluff? Just make her an adopted kid or something. I don't fucking know. having silently stood at the bathroom door.
What are you doing?
I flinch, clutching at the sink, while throwing on my plain white undershirt back on, awkwardly turning to it. Drugs? She looked unconvinced.
Right. By the way, they finally found a jacket that fit.
They did? I exclaimed, leaving the bathroom, almost a head taller than her. A downside of getting the dino growth spurt is that almost none of my old clothes fit me anymore. But for a long time, I'd also been wanting a jacket to wear, preferably green, to complete my... Do not wear skin tones, Anon, you fucker. The only people who are allowed to wear skin tones, and this is an exception because they look fucking awesome, are those... There's people in Africa, right? And they have very dark skin, and they wear deep black leather in the African sun. Those men are gods for wearing black leather in the sun of Africa. What is wrong with those people? They're in the savannah, and they're just baking alive. Those are men. I will never complain about their style. They are suffering for the aesthetic more than Fang ever did. And true heroes of the fashion world. Showing us all how it's done. But seriously, don't wear your skin color. It makes them blend into you, and it just looks weird. Also makes your art very annoying to draw. Dad and Mom exit their room having fished something out of the closet. My eyes widening in surprise, see that it was an old military camo jacket. Just ending thee then, huh?
Never thought I'd find this again.
Dad said with a smile.
Yeah, see how it fits, Shannon?
I gladly accepted, putting it on to note that it did indeed fit. And very well at that, as I smiled. On your snout?
Fit perfectly. Thank Dad. No problem. It'll serve you better that it didn't mean Dinozuela.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Not only did they get my size wrong, it was too hot to wear anyways.
Always too hot to wear anyways. Better. I nod before pausing. Wait, Dinozuela? Why were you in Dinozuela? Dad paused before laughing, adjusting his glasses.
Huh. Did I really say Dinozuela? I meant Pangea.
Panagia. What? What? He smiled.
The old man's memory is already going.
I shake my head. It's fine, Dad. Check, it's amazing. Just the flexibility before noting something. Hey, there's something in the pocket. It was a badge depicting a dino skull with a green beret on top. The acronym at the bottom. SOG. What could that mean? The serious overkill gamers? Dad broke through the glass ceiling of gamers. It was suddenly taken from my claw, a glint of light hiding my dad's eyes behind his glass. He pocketed the badge, a stony expression on his snout. I got the very clear feeling that Dad wanted me to forget about everything I just seen. I think Mom wanted Olivia to try out a hoodie they found. Cause she's fat! Anon's big and muscle, and Olivia's just like couch potato. Couch potato. All she does is lie around and draw. The glint then disappears, nodding happily.
Well, Olivia's the one who picked it out herself. That girl knows what she wants.
Finally, 7th grade. The middle of middle school. The halfway point of my student life before college. Now that I was past the 2010s, I meant I got a neat gadget for my birthday. A smartphone. The power of the shitpost back in the palm of my hand. I like that he says claw, because now it works. Because, he's like, this is my life now. And now he starts talking in dino terms. It makes way more sense. Feels good, man. I briefly check a post on the Libyan Yacht Club forum before looking up. Listening to Jeremy as he sat at our table. Now given early lunches because of the Meteor Bowl. I tilted my head. What?
Meteor Bowl. They nominated the school to host it, and every year it's going to be us, Mrs. Oak Private. And this year it's going to be us, Mrs. Oak Private.
Yeah, but... what is this meteor pig? Is it like a picnic or something? How the fuck do you not know? You've lived here for years. More like
the biggest sports event ever. Athletes, students from across Dinofornia are going to be bunking near the school to compete for the entire month. It's serious.
You mean the Olympics?
And I'm going to be the rep for the school.
Dude.
Warden exclaimed, bumping a fist against Ulta. Congrats, man.
Congrats, man. Coach Misha must be damn proud.
Yeah, Dad's pretty happy. Though, in all honesty, the only thing I'll end up doing well in is boxing, which is why I'm training for the other events.
Speaking of which, he finished the steak getting off the seat.
I gotta go. Most of the other schools are already arrived with their own athletes. Gotta show them who's boss.
He then jogged off, Doe looking down at the rest of us.
Why don't we go check it out? It sounds interesting.
I shrug. Sure, why not? And then look at Olivia to ask, you want to come with, Olivia? She paused for closing a notebook.
Only if we find a place to sit. I gotta take a shit.
Four of us set off, before making our way out of the cafeteria to see that the entire field is full of activity, from soccer to jumping jacks to frisbee. I like how it's the day of what? I'm very confused how this just jumped up on this man. Jeremy wasn't lying. It really did seem serious with the amount of work the athletes were putting in.
Well, feels like the entirety of Genoga Park is here.
Yeah, I noticed the conveniently placed bench on the other side of the racetrack. Hey, there's seats over there. Joe seemed to examine further as Olivia stepped out onto the track in front of it. Olivia, don't get hit by a fucking train, you idiot.
You know, some of these students could be from Focatira.
Whatever Doe was gonna Oh, Doe said this.
You know, some of these students could be from Fuka.
Whatever Doe was gonna say got cut off because a runner slammed right into Olivia. My eyes widened, briefly stunned to see my foster sister on the ground, and the student topped her as I moved forward. Ollie! Oh, Raptor. Oh, Raptor, Jesus, are you okay? My entire being froze up, my snout closed shut. That voice was familiar. Youngo. Oh no, it's, Nasser makes sense, right? Yeah, it's Nasser!
I'm fine. Could you get off me?
The pterodactyl choked on apology. Sorry. He then rose up, a cold feeling in my scales upon seeing the wings, the grey and orange lines. One was crippled and atrophied from an accident I never learned of. There'll be a day when Olivia will appear in Rick and Morty. Hell yeah! I'm all for it. His grey claw was offered to Olivia as she took it to be helped up, her other still clutching a notebook tightly before staring at the pterodactyl. He is far more active than normal as Olivia seemed to remember that she was still clutching his claw, letting go as Doe and Warden catched up.
Olivia, you alright?
The baryonyx seemed to take a moment to nod.
I'm good.
She then peered back. The pterodactyl completely lost in thought.
What about you?
Oh no, they're gonna kiss! Kiss, 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 kiss! Hold on, we need a better song for this. Yeah. Songs that are cool, cause they're cool songs that are cool. Oh me? I took him a second to break from his thoughts. Oh me? I'm perfectly fine. He assured her. Sorry about that. I got a bit distracted. Is that what the voice I gave him? I was like, hey Anna! Oh, I'm completely fine. Sorry about that. I guess I got a little distracted. Well, what? Olivia asked, showing far more interest in focusing on a new face more than she usually did. He seemed slightly off guard. I feel like slightly is coming up much, but I think it's just my brain being stupid. He seemed slightly off guard by that question, likely not having expected by others to be asked what was wrong. His golden eyes briefly caught mine as I stared back at a fucking ghost. Yeah, this is a good twist. Nasser, hey, it's the guy that fucking died, Anon. I was no longer out in the field. Hold on. Hold the phone. First off, no, we'll take care of that later. Dramatic highs. We need a tense song for holy shit. Shit's about to happen. Nah, I like this one. Nasser's yellow eyes. I was no longer out in the field of Mesozoic private, but back at Volcano High. Blood and bodies all around me in the hallway. Technically speaking, Fang shoots 5 people, because she has 6 bullets in the chamber. There are 6 bullets in that gun of hers, and she shoots 5 people. There are 5 corpses. She only intended to probably shoot Naomi and Nasser. The other 3 were casualties by proxy. Collateral damage, one might say. And of course, the 6th bullet went to Anon because she showed up and everything. Blood and bodies all around me in the hallway. And his eyes, all I could see was disappointment, sorrow, mourning. PTSD from 10 years ago. NASA looked at the rest of our school and the field before looking back at Olivia.
It's nothing. Sorry.
And just like that, he continued running. Doan Warden approached Olivia, the former with his arms crossed.
I wonder what that was about.
Doe shrugged.
If I had a bet, he's probably a student from Vilcadera Bluff. Homesick too, poor guy.
She then turned to Olivia.
What do you think, Olivia?
Why are you including this? Isn't not implied that she's turning to Olivia if she's asking Olivia a fucking question? I'm just saying, this is stage direction crap. She doesn't respond.
Olivia?
He's, where's Anon?
I was gone. How did you fucking hear anything, asshole? So, just fucking kiss already. 8,000 word chapter. This is not an 8,000 year chapter. This is 3 to 4 different chapters that you should have separated with a strainer or something. I don't fucking know. I'm too stupid for that. All right. I've been promised this gets weirder, but for now, I'm not sure. I'm liking the twist, and I hope they do something with it. You know what? Let's take a sneak peek to the next chapter. That's the thing was gold. Loving it so far. Didn't expect him to show up this early. We're several thousand words in. He should be better fucking show up if he does anything in this story at this point. What is a glowy? OG parents didn't get together. It'd be weird to have two animals running around. Yeah, like I said, I feel that there's way too much granularity to actions that should be spread out. Like, again, the meat and potatoes should have been like, you can have the cute, okay, here, right, you keep the cute movie scene, you shortcut everything else. You're like, okay, I joined the boxing club, etc. You know, like I'm more active than I used to be. Olivia's keeping me on this. You know, you summarize a lot of that. You can keep the movie scene as like Anon experiencing a high, and like that was the moment I realized I wanted to stay. But man, it is too decompressed storytelling. We are chapter like 12, and shit's happening way too slow. Your corpse needs to appear in like the first 4 chapters, and it's just not. Anyway, I need to look up what the fuck a glowy is. Let's see. Internet slang derogatory far right. A government agent or informant infiltrating online political space with the supposed intention of surveilling violent extremists or provoking entrapment. From Terry Davis, who stated in 2017 that they glow in the dark, implying that they are conspicuous, as in obvious and easy to notice. Oh, neat. You'll learn something every day. But what is SOG? Because I don't know that. I know that Soggy's drool, but... Special Ops Group. Police and a military unit in the UK and many other places. Special Forces teams. Spear Operation Group's private military company responsible for assassinations in the Yemeni Civil War? The Military Assistance Command Vietnam Studies and Observations Group, clandestine U.S. Special Operations Group from 1964 to 1972. There's knife manufacturers. The SOG knife used by the U.S. forces, yeah, made by those guys, probably. Special Forces Regiment in Sweden. The Saskilda Operationsgruppen. It can also mean a stool osmosis graph, which is apparently a test. A measurement of the different types between serum and feces used to distinguish between different causes of diarrhea. The more you know. Oh shit, there's a lot. The Special Operations Group with the Special Activities Center in the United States Central Intelligence Agency. Oh, that's probably what he was talking about. Okie dokie. Political Covert Action. Active 2016 to present. Paramilitary clandestine force, size classified. Who the fuck knows? Known operations, Cold War. Oh no, they had a different name before 2016. Huh. They're known for psyops, economic warfare. Neat. You learn something every day. Gaming is served, of course, still loving it. The Ghost your past are running. Doorbell rings. I'll see who it is. Oh no, it's Fang in the comments. Fanfic is getting better with each chat. I don't think it is. Like, without the Steam, it doesn't really work. What is literally E references? Any meme regarding Ryan Gosling being literally me. Shame that the time skip is so severe. Fuck off! The time skip is not enough. Any editor would tell this man to cut it down. Jesus! Another song about the weekend. Enjoy it. Yeah, like, apparently everyone in 2000, everyone thinks this is great. Whatever's good about this, I don't know what it is. But it's insulting to Snoot Game, because the writing in that is way better. Okay, we're going to take a sneak peek at Chapter 7, and then we're going to call it quits. I'm keeping the recording on, because they have a right to know. Nasser's indeed damn bro. Oh yeah, Nasser's bro. I like how some guy points out a fucking error. There've been plenty of goddamn errors, man. Anon unleashing his pent-up rage and anger, literally thinking of his old self as his opponent. Death punch at Jeremy's face is interesting to read. Oh, we're getting to something. Jesus. Again, Chapter 7's pretty long. Beating hard, couldn't do it anymore. Kyle lapsed, puked out my lunch. Taste of bitter acid. Why was Nasser here? Why was I like this? Oh, hell yeah. This is what I'm looking for. Blood! Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. It's a little weird for him to experience this severely, but, you know, trauma can take a while to manifest, I guess. Human brains do whatever the fuck they feel like. You know what? We'll take 2 more chapters. 2 more chapters of comments. I'm kind of curious. Olivia dug her snout. I want to hug that Nasser. I like the idea. There's a nice conflict to, like, Olivia wants to be with Nasser, but he just hates it. That's a good conflict. Olivia wants to be with Nasser. Anna wants Olivia to be happy, but he can't be near Nasser. It's a good conflict to have. Don't know if this guy can make good on that, but there it is. There's a plot. The Spanish Snoot Game community loves your story. Buena suerte et tu historia. Midterms. Virtuous high school. Junior high school is from 7th to 10th grade. Middle school is 6 to 8. High school is grades 9 to 12. Wow! I learn something every day. So 1st to 5th, 6th to 8th. Yeah, Half-Life 3 is free. Half-Life 2 is free today. Get it while it's hot. Take a time. School is more important than Snoop. I like how people are very easily impressed. I'm not saying I'm better than this. I mean, there's definitely some jealousy in there somewhere. I'm not gonna pretend I'm not. But, my problem is a bit more that it's not, like I said, just admit you're jealous, Safi. No! Oh shit, this is a year old. 28th of October. As someone who's been cutting down on chapter length and focusing on chapters being chapters, yeah. Jesus, these comments are something else. You know what? I'll look at chapter 10. And if I don't see people going, what the fuck is going on? Again, these chapters are huge. Like I said, it's 22 chapters. 160... Let's pull it through the math ringer. It's like 8,000 words, 7,000 words per chapter. Oof, sturdy stuff. 32 comments. What a cliffhanger. Oh, it's got pages. There are pages? I thought it just endlessly deployed comments. I guess I learned something today. I can't move my legs. Oh shit, Olivia's legs. Huh. Canonical for Olivia, bullshit aside. Leg mobility has left the server. Dang. Shit's getting weird. She falls out of bed? What? Hold on. Well, they're doing something. I'll be honest. After starting off with ending 1.5, which, by the way, tight, like perfectly tailored leather pants. Just no rubber or elastan or spandex. No, tight. This is so much fluffier. You know, my creative drive of late has been a bit dead. I don't know why. It's just taking a fucking nosedive.
I don't know if looking at this is making it any better, though.
But yeah, that's all great. That's great. I don't know, man. I'm yeah, nothing to something. What a situation. I think next time we'll do one chapter because I don't know if we can do both at once. It's so much. It's so much. It's a lot. It's so dense. It's like eating a power bar, but it's a power bar the size of a cake. Thank you all for coming. I don't know. Go get Half-Life for free. Oh, whoops! I cut stuff from the recording. That's great. Go watch the VOD, man. Point is, there we go. You got anything to add, Scary Dave, before we go? Feel free to throw your comments out there. Then we'll call it quits. Cause I want to see where it goes, but man, there's a lot of rough around this diamond. You know, diamond in the rough. This diamond's 90% rough. You know, a depressing thing that happened to me today is I played RuneScape 3 like a fucking loser, even though I think it's the better actual video game. But I played it and I got to the to Elemental Workshop 4 and I'm like, man, 2011 they said they had more quests lined up and they never did. I'm depressed. I love Elemental Workshop. I don't know why. I just love this goofy machine crap. The body one is a bit meh, but I really like the cosmic one. Hug Gator, folks, and stay out. Yes. Man, this would be great to end it on some links from Scary Dave, but YouTube just won't let him. YouTube has a gun to this man's head. It's just so fucking... Man. Man. Dun, 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 dun. I wish I had a microphone I could like or something like that, just for kicks. I wish I had something to write. I have a lot of little sparks of ideas, you know. There's like flickers in the dark, embers floating in the abyss, but nothing catches fire or storms into something. There's ideas, wisps, but things I had in mind have just evaporated. I don't know. There's something in here that I would like to extract and turn into my... I don't know. Maybe I should just lie down and die, because this week is gonna suck ass. Trust me when I say that this week is about to be worse. It's so full of things to do. I have so much to do this week. I already hate it. I'm already done. I'm already just tired, and I only want to go to bed. I don't know. I do not know. I think I'm gonna go read some Tumblr. See if the tabletop role playing people that I follow have anything fun to say about D&D being dumb. D&D people being dumb. It's always fun. Thank you for coming. Stay safe out there, and remember. Again, if you like this fic, that's fine. I'm not arguing that. That's not my point. My point is I'm giving criticism as someone who has a big fucking ego apparently about himself, but apparently does not know what actual good writing looks like, because this is apparently good writing, and I don't think it is. So, apparently, you can't argue customer matters of tastes. Or, I'm fucking stupid. Either or is great. But I have no ideas. I've not written a lot lately. I've been kind of annoyed and angry at people, if anything. And I got a busy week ahead, so... time to do what Anon's got to do as he suffers from PTSD and hoist up those pants, ready ourselves for a big bout, and hope that Mike Tyson doesn't knock me out round one. Blech. You know, I think I need something to cheer me back up. I need something to cheer me back up. And I think the only thing that can truly cheer me up, that can truly pull me back out, is reminding myself, go, little dude, go! He's so handsome. Of the littlest Anon. Maybe that's all you need. Okay. The littlest Anon. Maybe that's all you need.